Welcome to Outlaw Radio. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm also known as the world-class smartass, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. Welcome to the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio. Outlaw Radio, smartass. That's the name of the show tonight. I'm not alone. I got Kamar on location. Let's buzz him in, see what's what with him.
Peace, peace, family. How y'all doing out there? I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, your holistic health and wellness coach, Mr. Kamar Carter. Right now, I'm on site down here at Transcendent Hair Salon. We got a pop-up going on. And we also got some black business owners down here that's popping their stuff off, and they're gonna come on the show and pop their brand. We got one right here.
That's what's up, man. And like we always tell everybody, we are always interested in supporting black business. So if you got something you want to promote, especially if you're doing something positive, you're welcome to the show. So I guess this is one of those living examples of that. My sister, tell these people who you are and what you do. I think we got to get her on here. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I am Kashonda, and I do a lot. I am truly a Renaissance woman. I have a candle line. I am a self-published author. I have an event planning company. My children are entrepreneurs. Like, we got a lot of stuff going. However, today I am promoting. Let's see if I can make this happen. I don't think I can turn my camera on. Either way, I'm down here promoting Stogies and Sticks, which is my mobile cigar business. Mobile cigar smoke business. So if you're having a party, if you're having an event in your backyard, wherever, we'll pop up and provide just an elevated experience for your guests. That's what I'm doing. Like I said, I got a lot of things going on. And I work full time and a mom of 3. So
okay, so how can people, I know you probably said this, but how can people
So you can find me on Facebook, Kashonda Willis, KESHONDA WILLIS. For this particular business, I'm also on Facebook, Stogies, STOGIES, and Sticks, STIX. So you can find us there.
All right.
Hey, Kashonda, tell them about your DJ and your candle business.
So he calls me a DJ because I bring the Bluetooth speaker to the events and make the playlist do what it do. But I do have a candle company called Moto Pasha Candles. Moto Pasha means twin flame in Swahili. The first scent on my line is called Amina. Amina means peace in Swahili. All of my candles will have a Swahili or African-based name. Amina is a blend of chamomile, lavender, citrus, and sage. So it's designed to be more of a calming agent. And I work with a local aromatherapist, another Black-owned company, to help build this scent. And we have another scent that we will be launching in the fall, which will be a little more erotic. Like, it'll be more of a romantic type scent that we're looking to launch in the fall. And then I do have a book. My book is a journal, Nevertheless, Realizing God's Will for Your Life. It's filled with 25 messages and affirmations to help us re-engage with ourselves and to be selfish a little bit and focus on ourselves and our next and our path and all of those beautiful, amazing things.
All right. So welcome to Outlaw Radio.
Thank you.
Kamar, I don't know if you have access to our chat, because we do have a live chat because we're live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Twitter. If the chat, if you want to put your links or whatever in the chat so people can see, or you can send them all to Kamar. Kamar, you are still an admin at the News Network. So you can add her. You can add her to the group.
Okay, I will go ahead and take advantage of the chat. I do see it. So thank you.
No problem. We always support Black businesses. We have another sister here from, it looks like Bougie Girls. My sister, tell these people who you are, what you do.
Hello, everybody. I am Chanel Evans of Bougie Girls. I've been in business for about 5-6 years now. And what I do customize bougie girl shirts, so pretty much everything is handmade. So it's just basically letting women know that it's okay to be bougie. It's been a stigma where it's been so like negative in a negative light, and it's really just empowerment for women that it's okay to be self confident and have self awareness of yourself. So yes, I started a t-shirt line. I can turn my camera around. I'm gonna turn my camera around. Hold on. Okay, well, I don't know how to turn the camera around. But these are some of the items that I have. This is my absolute favorite t-shirt, which says, "I'm not pretty to be dark skinned, I'm just pretty." We also have the definition tee. We have a couple of different tees that we do have. We have a plus size tee that does say, "I'm not pretty for a big girl, I'm just pretty." And then we also have the Black and Bougie Since Forever, which is another staple shirt of mine. All the t-shirts today, tees and tanks, are on sale today for $10. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Bougie Girls with 2 R's in the girls. And that's it.
All
Thank
right, thank
you.
you. Yes, you can. Like, if you have any links that you want to put in the chat, you are welcome to do so. Let's see. Okay, I was just checking my chat room because we do have a chat room. So if you wanted to put anything in the chat room, feel free to do so to promote your business. We are Kamar's at a pop-up. If you're just tuning in, it's still Outlaw Radio. Kamar's at a pop-up event in the community. So he had a bunch of people who are entrepreneurs and have black businesses. So we always say we support them. So he's bringing them in, and you can come and rep your business tonight on Outlaw Radio. It's all good. I got somebody else. Let me get my mic. Let me get this unmuted. The Wasted Experience, my sister. Tell these people who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is Nikia Landers of The Wasted Experience. I make custom waist beads. I also have waist beads from the motherland, which is Ghana. I also have shirts. They're all crops to promote the waist beads, and I also have waist beads from Jamaica. I'm sorry.
Okay. And how do people get in touch with you to get you good?
You can find me on Facebook at Nikia Landers, or you can find me on Facebook at The Wasted Experience by Nikia. You can also find me on Instagram at The Wasted Experience by Nikia, and just Nikia.
So what's the significance of the waist beads? I see a lot of sisters with the waist beads. Can you explain what that means? What that
So,
stands for?
waist beads is a tradition that started in Ghana. Just like we have our Sweet 16 to let women know that they've become of age. That's kind of what waist beads do for girls in Africa. They also are to gauge your weight. They use them
Those
in
are
Africa to gauge the
eyelash
baby's weight because, of course, they don't have scales like we have. So we put them on their wrists or their ankles, and the waist beads get tight, and that's how you know that the baby is gaining weight. They also use it for body adornment and to gauge an adult's weight as well. So that's what Americans kind of use them for. They're trending here, but I sell them not because of the trend, but because of the culture.
Okay. Now, did you have to get some kind of training to make these, or you just how do you learn how to make these? What is it? How do you get into this business?
I was sitting in my bed one night, deciding I wanted to be fast and make waist beads. Got some string, got some beads, put them together, and then I started to YouTube how they made them in Africa, and I follow a lot of Africans and how they make them, and I just found a quicker way to make them, and then because business started to take off really, really heavily, I then outsourced and found vendors in Jamaica and Ghana.
Oh, okay. So, like I said, post those links in our chat room, and Kamar, you can share all of this stuff in the People's News Network because we believe in promoting your business. We unfortunately we wanted to be there live, but we weren't able to do so. So we just kind of This is just an introduction. I'm sure we'll be at some event. You'll be there. You get a chance to sit down and talk all about it one day.
Definitely.
So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. We had another we have another guest in the studio. Black businesses, man, representing Kamar's live on the scene. Y'all know Kamar, the witch doctor's in the community constantly, right?
So,
Let's see.
Trying to
Shanisa,
set up their business and shop, like different businesses.
I know she knows she's on. She
I think
forgot.
she's throwing her waist beads off or something.
No, not her.
Um,
There's another sister, Shanisa. It says Shanessa. Is that how you say the name?
Let me go see. I saw she just sat her phone down. She was on there.
So yes, it's Outlaw Radio. I'm gonna get into my smart assness as we go along. Just give people business a opportunity to promote their businesses. It's so much going on, man. Like I always say, that
She got a
spirit
customer table.
of all that, marching and protesting and all of that kind of went away. So we would hope that it was replaced by some entrepreneurial pursuits for Black people. The one thing we got to do is take care of money. The revolution is financial. Is what we say on the show all the time. So we need to incorporate ourselves. I hope you, if you see anybody on here, like if you were interested in some waist beads, it's primarily men on Outlaw Radio. So I don't know how many of y'all gonna be like, yeah, root me over that waist bead lady. I don't know if that's gonna necessarily be the case, but you never know.
Okay, we got a lot of sisters that follow the show too.
Right. Well, a lot of Black women support the show. A lot of Black women support the show. So I guess my sister is ready now.
Hi,
Chanel, how you doing? How you?
Shanisa.
Okay. What's your name? What's your service?
I'm Shanisa. I'm a crafter. I own Creations in Her Image. I customize like cups and T-shirts, and I'm just all around crafty girl.
Okay, so you said crafty, like we talking like plants or
Crafty stuff.
floral arrangement or okay.
Oh no, like I create. I'll just show you. I don't know how to switch the camera, but I like craft. I bling like cups.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Another cup. And
Oh, okay. Coffee mug. Okay, I see. I see.
yeah,
Okay.
I do a
Well,
lot of crafting. I mainly work with cups and T-shirts, customizing things.
okay, so you do so somebody can call you up and say, put this picture on the cup for me, like a custom, like they own custom mug.
Yeah,
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
I
Okay.
can definitely do that.
All right. Well, if you have any links, be sure to share them in our chat room so
Okay.
people can. Because how do people get in touch to get like your services?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm on TikTok. And you can follow me at Creations in Her Image.
Okay, we got to get that in. We got to get that in the chat room. We want
Okay.
to thank you for coming on. Outlaw Radio. Welcome to the People's Network. We're gonna try to get you in the People's News Network so people can see your business.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio, man. Starting out a little unorthodox, but it's all good. Got to be able to, got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. So I'm sure Kamar will keep, whoever he comes into contact with, we'll flow with him through the show. Lot going on. Had a lot planned tonight, especially considering the name of the show, which is Outlaw Radio Smartazz. Which is pretty much what everybody is nowadays, right? Everybody knows everything. Everybody has all the answers to all the questions. So, and usually when anytime a Black person in particular is outspoken or vocal or confident, they get labeled a smart ass. So, my brother always jokes with me. I've been getting in trouble for the same crime since I was like 8, just talking too much, getting sent home from school, sent home from work. You a smart ass is what they used to tell me. So anybody else out there in the chat room that feel that way, feel some kind of way, or want to contact any of the businesses that you see on here tonight, make sure you hit them up. The number should be in our chat. We are still Rail is not in yet, so we got a couple people that may come in as we move along. Kamar, you all right, man? What's good with you, man?
Hey man, life, you know what I'm saying, man? It's just I've been so busy lately, man. You know, and I told everybody, I said, you know what, it's probably more my fault than anything on why we couldn't make it up here and do the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I just been so busy and different every shit just slipped my mind every day, man. You know, I told you about remember Monday I was talking about all the different events that I'm involved in. I done got my signed myself up to get into like just something every day of the week, man. I got the men's group on Monday that we do every Monday where we just starting. Tuesdays I'm down at Alice's Garden vending. Wednesdays I'm either at the vocational center or I may start going up to Washington Park. Also, I heard that's doing nice up there. Thursday, I'm at the Fondy Market. Fridays, I'm somewhere like what's this Friday? I'll be at the Gospel Fest. Saturday, I'll be at the Blues Fest and the Blues Fest again. The Blues Fest was just last week. Yeah, so you know what I mean? I just been so busy. But you know, hey, I appreciate it, man. That's what I asked for, you know.
Uh,
Not only that, but you know what I mean? I'm a hustler, man. It's in my blood, Kev. You know me.
do you have a calendar, motherfucker?
I need one. Hey, I had one. I had one, right? But I don't. Where is that? I don't really occupy that room so much no more. So I really don't get a chance to even look at it, much less write shit down on it.
You know you
I got
got
to
one
get a
on your
smaller
phone, right?
camera. I got to
You
get a
gotta,
smaller camera, huh?
you need
You know
all the
you got one on your
calendars,
phone. You
Kamar,
got one
all
on
of
your
them.
phone.
Man,
Yeah.
listen, man. I'm that old school though. Like I know it's a calendar on the phone. I still be slipping it.
Look,
You know?
man, I got a whole calendar. You gotta have a calendar.
Look,
Look, you
got to.
I gotta
Y'all
write
right.
shit
Y'all
down.
right. Hey, look. When I was following my calendar, I was on my shit. You know what I'm saying? I was on my shit.
It be so much going on, like within your personal life, plus whatever events you done planned, and you be having plenty of events. Kamar, I look at
Yeah,
your page, and I'm like, damn, Kamar, and everything. So
Yeah.
man.
I know you need a
I'm
Yeah.
calendar
saying,
for sure.
why do you
And
just
look, and then I'm the kids
get
Uber.
one? Say what?
And then I'm the kids Uber for my second job.
Oh wow.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like in between when I do get some free time, zip, 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 I gotta go run somewhere else. But like I
Man,
say, man, you know what I mean? That's what I asked for. I'd rather be doing it for myself than be doing all this ripping and running for somebody else. You know what I'm talking about?
that's right.
It's all good, man. It's all good. You know, you got like you say, you got to talk it like you walk it. I welcome anybody out there who has a business. If you want to do business, we can do business. I don't do no funny shit. Like if you want to, rep your brand or you want to sponsor or something like that, we can do some work. But I'm not, all that clown shit. I don't do well. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. Juice Lady, what's popping?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All
We all
right, all right, all
Well, my son, he
right.
just had this pitch contest to Marquette, so he was up in there whoop whooping. He got third place going down. So yeah,
okay.
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, we got Outlaw Radio Smartazz tonight on a Wednesday night.
Who being a smart ass, Kev?
Well, it's a little bit of everybody, I would say. It's not. I mean, look, I used to play around and say, "Oh, my nickname is the world class smartass," and then people used to ask me like, "Damn, that shit's true. You always had a smart ass mouth, right?" And so, but if you black and you outspoken and you vocal and you articulate and you intelligent, people will label you like that anyways. But like, I'm really like, I wanted to make So I wanted to make this show super boring tonight. I wasn't even planning on no excitement tonight because I wanted to talk about what a smart ass really is. People like this nigga done lost his mind. No, I'm dead ass right here because I wanted to talk about one of my favorite parts of research, which is epistemology, right? I want to talk about epistemology. And so people don't know, a lot of people don't know what that is. So I want to talk about it. And it's basically the theory of knowledge, right? And it's concerned with the nature, origin, and scope of knowledge, the systematic justification of it, the nationality of the belief, or its related issues. Epistemology is considered a major subfield of philosophy, along with other major subfields such as ethics, logic, and metaphysics. What the fuck did he just say?
Look, I'm over here Googling smart ass the easy way. I'm like, Fuck Kev talking about. Gonna Google
Well,
it.
you have to.
You said a whole lot. Just
Right.
It's basically the
without saying
study.
nothing.
Well, no, it's because it's the study of your knowledge. How do you learn? Where do you get your information from? What makes you justify? Like when you say something, how much of it is pure fact and how much of it is it opinion? And a lot of people don't think about that because we tend to speak from our own perspective. We tend to be biased for our own kind of points of view. So a lot of times you tell somebody something, especially as black people, you say, man, I'm just keeping it motherfucking real with your ass. Well, that means that's your version of the truth, right? That means that's how you feel, not necessarily what you know. So when we talk about epistemology, we talk about the study of that, the nature of that knowledge. We can go out and we can read books. Like right now, a lot of people are driven, right? Very driven to know things. YouTube, Google, all these things are, especially YouTube, because YouTube is one of the most classic uh, uh, passages of information we've ever witnessed because it's literally anything you could guess, and it shows you the visuals of it, not just the words, right? So that whole thing, that's a part of our epistemology right now, because you say, how do most people learn things? They learn it via social media. A lot of y'all watch more social media than the regular news. I knows this, right?
Yeah.
The internet has become way more of a Swiss Army knife than we ever thought it would be, because it's able to do. That's why they're trying to restructure this, talking about some metaverse and all this kind of virtual things where you just can just exist in this digital plane, right? But that's an important part of our epistemology. It's where how most people are acquiring knowledge these days. Like if you go all the way back to before the printing press was created, right? How did most people get information? They got it word by word of mouth, or some sort of hieroglyphic messaging, or some scroll or something like that. And so as a result, a lot of people didn't know shit, for lack of a better terms, because they didn't have money, so they didn't have access to a lot of these things, right? Like so people who were well read, who had, gotten some schooling, could run any kind of flim flam on the regular villagers, because they didn't know. They didn't have access to it. Now the printing press comes, all of a sudden books are available. So people start to be able to acquire books and build up their own personal libraries of knowledge, so people start to become more informed. It just goes on and on and on till you get to fiber optic communication and the internet and all this kind of stuff that we have today. So I know it's some black nerd shit, but the point of it is a lot of the information that we are taking in right now, people are like really able to quote like historians and sociologists, and man, Malcolm X said, and the minister said, and they can say all this kind of stuff, and people will just say shit sometimes and swear it was deep. It's almost like they say it and step back like, yeah, and cross their arms. That shit wasn't deep. I seen that shit on Facebook too. so
Yeah.
so when I say, being a smart ass is, sometimes I think that's the knock on people who tend to, speak or be knowledgeable, because you say most motherfuckers who talk a lot don't know what they talking about. so,
No, I agree.
so that's why just having fun with the fact that we can even study now, why we're studying the way we're studying. You know what I mean? Like, man, why am I using this to learn this? And most of us limit ourselves to one way of learning. That's why you'd be like, man, can you do this? No, because especially like I don't like sitting down. I don't have patience to put furniture together. Like with all the nuts and bolts and sit down with the man. That's not my thing. I'm not good at that. My wife will do it. Boom, bam. Her and my son will put a whole house together. It'd be some screws missing and shit. I'd be like, what, these ain't extra? My wife was like, oh my God.
God damn it, Kev.
I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the patience for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but how we learn is how I learn. Like I need my knowledge a little bit more fluid than that. What's up, Joey? He said, what's up, my brothers and sisters? He said he wanted to get some Outlaw gear and some juices. Where do I send the funds? You know what, JoJo? I am working feverishly on getting my apparel back up. My sister Courtney can put the link in the chat room if you want to get some juices from her. Kamar, I can get you Kamar's number too, because he's at an event right now. I don't know if he's gonna clock back in. And Rail ain't jumped on yet with the books, but anything you need on here, all you gotta do is look in the chat room or in the People's Network, People's News Network. I think you in there, JoJo. Let me know if you ain't in my group, the People's News Network.
And I gave
But
you the info, Joey. I responded to you as far as my products. Everybody else will be on soon, where you can catch them. But I gave you how to look and view my products and have different ways that you can order and purchase. And then I'll deliver personally. Keep
okay,
a
man.
knife on me now.
There you go, JoJo. That's my partner, man. That's my brother right there. Straight up, knew
Go,
that dude.
Joey.
Knee high to a flea, man. That boy said, I remember this dude when he was like 6 years old. He can legitimately say that shit to me.
How old you, Kev?
How old? Nah, I was 6. He can remember me from before that. This dude lived down the street from me from from the time I was born till my whole life. So I've known that dude. He probably say I remember dude before he. I remember him before he remembered me because I remember when he was like 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? Just a little badass dude that lived down the street. So yeah, that's JoJo, man. Joey Phillips, man. Shout out to the whole Phillips family, man. Family. That was the neighborhood. But so yeah, Courtney, I made it real black nerdish tonight, epistemology. And I don't want people to get this like confused with etymology, because etymology is like the study of words and like where words come from. So the breakdowns of what's a Latin prefix and all this kind of stuff. So, but no, this is epistemology. So if you want to look it up and you can see what this is all about. Chime in, man. Let me know how y'all feel. I need to start getting some of this stuff put on t-shirts, right? Epistemology, hashtag epistemology.
Yeah.
I think it would sell. Don't be trying
That's
to.
what they need to have on the radio show in the morning, as when they be doing that $1,000 in a minute. Spell epistemology. Niggas. Ooh, pass.
Nah, that's a Google away. That's a foul. Like,
I swear, and also, I'd be crazy if people don't be Googling to me. I would be listening and trying to.
Don't get him no ideas. They be taking my shit.
But I'm good at sounding things out. I think I would have got it right. Epistemology.
Already got enough secret listeners that run away with certain ideas and things. I see y'all out there. I see you. With your looking ass, as they say. No, shout out to you if you're watching the show. Shout out to you if you're watching the show. But yeah, man. So like I think it's very important because the one thing we talk about right now is literacy, right?
I spelled it wrong, yeah.
Epistemology.
I lost the $1,000. Definitely use some A's. It's
Next
where the A's are. I was close.
We talk about literacy, and I know I shout out to my boy Jason used to be on here. He used to get so mad at me when I used to talk about black literacy rates. He used to get mad at me, like he's like, "Oh man, what you talking about?" He would say to me, "Oh, I know to you, black people can't read." Because I would say our literacy rate is low in the community, even not just for the kids in school, for the adults. And that wasn't a knock on the community.
I told you what Tori said.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, I told you what Tori Lowe said.
What did he say?
I said, I told you what Tori Lowe said on the radio.
Right. What did he say?
Like that 386,000 when he said demonization. Literacy is low.
Right. Listen. Shout out to Tori, man. Shout out to Tori, man. More power to you, brother. Right. Shout out. But okay. So I'm talking about literacy. Like, so Jay used to get mad at me, right? And like part of my dissertation for my PhD is about how poverty affects literacy in black kids, right? Because from basically, to sum up education for you, from kindergarten to about 3rd grade, they teach you how to read. And then from 3rd grade on, you have to read to learn. You see what I'm saying? Like they teach you numbers and equations, and then all of a sudden they hit you with a story problem one day. You be like, what the fuck? What a little plus and minus at? No, word problem, nigga. Oh shit, what am I gonna do? Damn, Johnny had how many motherfucking apples? Oh, it creates a different layer of understanding. You start building your knowledge, but you have to learn how to read to do so. So now there's a thing with people who can actually say words. They can pronounce words, but there's a difference in comprehending what you're reading and just reading out loud. Do you comprehend what you read? Even if you have to stop at the end of the paragraph and go back, because I'll do that. If I read a paragraph and it come off a little, I'm like, what the fuck? Let me read that again.
I definitely go back
and read it slower, right?
Yeah, because I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I just move on.
Shit, some words. Like what?
So that's what I'm saying when I say, we talk about epistemology. I'm talking about being a smartass. Like how well read are you? And I can tell people this, and I'm not saying that I'm the most well-read individual by no means. What I'm saying is in my doctoral studies, what I learned how to do research and the different classifications of research, right? And how each one could be utilized. Like if you're talking about statistics and correlations and analysis and all this kind of stuff. If you're talking about case studies, all that different kind of stuff. It's many different ways to do research, right? Like, so I started to look into that more by saying, I'm gonna go back and look at everything that I think I know, and then I'm gonna research where it came from. Do that make sense? So if I got an author that I really liked, or that I really said, oh, that dude, I wrote that, he said this, and I went back and looked into that individual and said, where they learn that shit from? What qualified them to tell me that? And I'm running with this shit like it's gospel, man. You know what's right, right? And a lot of people don't do that, and we end up misled a lot. So, and it's nobody in particular's fault. We just have to figure out a way to number one, for our kids really implement some sort of curriculum in the schools. We'll talk about MPS ass too tonight. Boy, shit, they got a lot of trouble. Miss Bev on their ass. I'm trying to tell you, it's some money missing around here. We're gonna talk about that tonight too. But I don't know, man, because I look at it like I keep saying part of what Black people have experienced in this country in terms of racism was more or less an indoctrination process that you went through, in which you went to a public school that was once approaching things with a one-size-fits-all type of education model. And so they had there what they wanted you to learn, what they thought was important, and that's what they taught you, right? And the crazy part is they even came up with standardized tests that were just as biased and just as slanted, and that's how they gauged how intelligent your ass was. So basically, if you didn't learn how to, and a lot of it is just regurgitation of lies, all right? So a lot of the shit that they taught us in history back in the days, we've since found out are lies. But not only did they teach you these lies, they tested you on the lies. And if you didn't say I was taking this test and I knew better, and you asked me this question, I said, well, that's actually not true. Here's the footnote to the real information. That's not true. It's false. And they said, no, this is true. It's wrong. Who the fuck does this little kid think he is? Fucking smart ass. You're gonna have a bunch of wrong tests. You're gonna have a bunch of wrong answers. You'll get a low score on the test. Now it's like, okay, we're gonna put you in this class or put you in there or put you, like, they was able to do that. So you went through that. So where we're at now is a point where we have to kind of go back and deprogram and like clean all that out. Even with, I'm telling you, one of the things with the food, like the food shit is the craziest shit for me. Because I grew up in the 80s with the pyramid, where milk does a body good, and the pyramid they show you was on the door in every classroom. It had all the major food groups. That shit had pork, beef, dairy products, rice,
a little bit of sugar, all of that.
All this
just a little bit of sugar, not a lot, just a little bit.
This is what they was telling us. This is how you should. This is nutrition for you. Cheese, all this stuff. Like, it was like, man. But what it really was all of those industries pooling their money together, saying, let's come up with a nice ass advertising campaign. But they gave it to us like it was fact, right? Like, so, and don't even get me started on Black history. And I don't like the term necessarily Black history. Somebody was saying, Black history is world history. Black history is American history. Why should it stand alone? Well, I think it should stand alone because it's such a deep story about a group of people. In particular, Black people here in America. Very interesting story. Very, very kind of situation that needs to be more examined, right? So indeed, welcome to the show. Just a little cerebral for you. We're gonna get into the bullshit. We'll get into the bullshit as we go along. But like I said, man, Outlaw Radio, Smartazz, man. Welcome to the show. Rel, what's popping with you? Oh, we lost him again. He jumped in and jumped out.
Like, I was ready to throw my fingers up.
You had him twisted.
But he gone now. You saw him. I was going to end it with an O, though. You know what I'm saying? Outlaw.
Okay. I with an O. Right. See, I don't even got to sign yet. So, but yeah, I mean, I think
a lot of we affiliated for real.
Right. No, I mean, I'm good.
When they were on that podcast throwing up fingers and things. I saw it.
I already had one of my homeboys who shall remain unnamed. He said, "Yeah, man, you see your studio, you got all that dead in the background." And I forgot who he was and where he was from. And I said, "Oh man, come on, for real." Yeah, cuz that's why I be looking at it. I don't like that dead. You got like, dude, you was hero gangbanger. What's going on? You good now, Rel? You got your connect?
Outlaw.
Yeah, man. It gave me an error as soon as I hopped in talking about my mic wasn't working.
Okay. Well, it's Outlaw Radio, Smartazz. Welcome to the show. We had already Kamar was on earlier. Kamar's at an event actually because Kamar had planned for us to do a live event, right? But
Yeah.
he planned it. But he didn't he didn't necessarily finish everything involved. So like he was on here tonight, like I gotta give me a calendar. Because this dude is like busy all over the city all the time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, he running it up
yeah.
though. I'm happy for him, man.
yeah. Oh, come on, man. Listen,
He running it up.
this one movie I done seen from the beginning. So I'm really like, that's what's up, man. That's the shit right there. So
Yeah.
shout out to him. So we started the show off. If you tuned in, it was a bunch of black businesses and business owners, sisters on here making candles and all kinds of stuff. They wasn't making them on the show, but that's what they do.
Right.
T-shirts, stylists. The one sister said she got a mobile cigar bar. She'll bring out those links in the chat room if you go all the way up.
I missed all of that. I was only like 10 minutes late. Damn.
Yeah, you a little bit later than that. You're a little bit later than that, but yeah. So, but no, real. So tonight I had just kind of jumped off into this because we shoot the shit and sometimes we have a lot of fun and we've been having a whole lot of fun lately. So
man,
people like it's kind of silly, right? So I just wanted to kind of get a little cerebral tonight and get my educated self on. And
I feel you. Go ahead and flex.
About, epistemology, because I know the other night you said you like etymology.
For sure.
Mine is epistemology, which is the theory of knowledge.
Spell epistemology.
Man, I would I would say EPISTLE MOLOGY. I don't know. I just think of a pistol like I would think about like I don't know if that's right or not, but I know in church we always said our goal was to be a living epistle, a word that a living word that people could read and shit. So I don't know if that's correct or not though.
I believe
I didn't even check, and I got it sitting in front of me. Honestly, to tell you the truth, however you spell it is how you spell it, right? Like it's more important. It's more important for me for you to know what it means, because I know how to say it. I know what a lot of shit means that I can't spell.
Right.
It ain't in reverse. It's a lot of words. I know exactly what they mean. Say spell that shit. I'm like, motherfucker, So, we talk about what it means. We'll get to once we know what it means, then we'll worry about whether or not the spelling is correct. So, but it's really about where people acquire their knowledge from. So I was talking about even with this internet, social media, where are most people getting everything that people like Courtney and I had alluded to this earlier. People get more news from the internet than I know in the People's News Network. I put stuff in there and people will hit me like, bruh, is this real? I didn't even know. I'm like, yeah, if you turn on the TV, it's right on there. You know what I mean? But
and you be putting me up on shit, man, and I don't be knowing because I don't watch TV and I despise the news. You know what I'm saying? To me, the news is propaganda to keep people in a fearful state. So I don't watch it. So you be putting me up on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Well, and like I say, man, my intention is always the only thing I really enjoy doing is just giving people information.
Right.
Whether or not they, because people say, I don't agree with you. What you say? I'm offended. And at the end of the day, most of the time, I've been like, I don't really care how you feel.
Right.
As long as you got the information. Like, it's up to you. It's up to you to interpret what it means or how you're going to take it. So as a result, like you can get in trouble on here on a platform like this by saying stuff and not really being correct about it. Or God forbid I get a piece of information off a site that's not viable. Right, that like you, because sometimes you'll get baited into that on the internet. You see a story, you be like, oh shit, Lionel Richie back, he rapping now, and you just share it. You go back and look, and it'd be like bigdog.com. You're like, oh damn, or somebody.
I remember when Paul Walker died, and they kept putting Paul Wall picture up, like rest in peace, Paul Wall, like shit like that.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. And so it's very easy to get led astray. So I would, in my black nerdness, was just breaking down like, damn, how are the reason why a lot of us are so misled. Like you find more people, and I like we usually say ignorant, but I think ignorant is kind of like, because if we're gonna live in this sensitive ass time, we have to look at the word ignorant. I would just say people who are misled, like, because most of the time ignorant people are misled. Like they value the wrong shit, they prioritize the wrong shit, they go after the search. Like it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like it's like, man, get your ignorant ass out of here. Then you realize,
right.
oh, this individual is actually very misled, right? Like, because they put priorities on things that shouldn't be, because you care more about having a Gucci belt than other things. And I'm using that as an example, just because belt or something simple like that, or having a fat ass blunt. I say it for like a lot of brothers, like you want to show that you smoke. Like that's one of your priorities that people know. I get high, man. Shit. Okay, I don't understand what do you gain from that? Like what that's not something you should be prioritizing, right? Like there's nothing wrong with getting high.
That might be their means of connect. Like what I've learned is sometimes people put their shit on Front Street out of hopes of connecting with like-minded individuals. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes even that motherfucker showing off he got the fattest blunt and shit like that, his subconscious motive that he might not even be aware of is showing a female who in the weed culture that he has it. It could potentially allow for a connection, a smoking vibe that might lead to some
and he's gonna run into a
something
lot
else.
of studs, and he's probably gonna get set up and robbed several times, and
It
probably
happens. It
probably
does.
be the victim of a lace blunt or something. He's gonna be a crackhead in 5 years.
Damn,
Because
Right.
This
because
individual
he shows that he smoked his fat blunt.
Goddamn real.
I'm out here smoking fat blunt.
He got a whole story. Like,
Crack now.
You said that he was doing it like to attract like-minded people, right? Like, let me give y'all a pointer. Let me give y'all a tip. When you do illegal shit, you should be with as least other people who do as legal shit as you can. See what I'm saying? Like, if I'm over here and I'm a robber and I'm a stealer and I'm a stealer and a robber, what am I, 8? A robber and I shouldn't be hanging out with a whole clique of thieves, because I could say on one hand, well, they stay up on telling me what to go steal, but I guarantee you, one of them gonna either send you to a bullshit ass lick, or they're gonna get caught and tell on everybody.
Then the thieves.
So you want to get, I want her to know. I smoke fat blunts.
Right.
With a big ass backwood behind me.
They do it, man. You know, I've come across people like, and this is one of the reasons I'm kind of appreciative that I didn't realize I was actually decent looking until I was grown. Because until I figured out that I was rather attractive, I had to depend on conversation. So I wasn't one of them cats who had the gimmicks. You know, a lot of cats they need a conversation starter, whether it's a fly ass car or something. They usually need something to attract the attention, and then if they don't have conversation, a lot of times they ain't able to keep the attention.
Right. Either way it go, you see how all of a sudden we coming up with examples of people who have their priorities all fucked up.
For sure.
That leads me back to being misled and having a misunderstanding and ultimately resulting in a misfortune, right?
Right.
And so, like, when we talk about what is really ailing us right now, and I don't know what the quote is, my people are doomed for a lack of knowledge or something like that. I don't know. I'm not the
my
best
people perish for the lack of knowledge.
Yeah, something along them lines, right? Say if you know, you know. But so I'm looking at, okay, what would spark a change for us? We even talked about really the need to kind of go back in and like rinse your mind out and get rid of all the indoctrination education you've been given from a pup. You, as a black person especially. And I know that kind of like linked to why the Nation of Islam used to use Dianetics with L. Ron Hubbard's book, because he's talking about in there mental reconditioning to like get over traumas and to get over addiction. So once again, the black nerd in me is in full bloom on a Wednesday
night. That's fly. That's dope.
Already. I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of friends, so I read a lot of bullshit.
Hey, that's dope.
No.
I just caught 2 astrology books. My astrology book showed up today.
Look, I swear I just was Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. You damn right.
Oh, you don't remember that? You
Look.
remember that commercial and shit with the volcanoes erupting everywhere and shit? Like,
oh, you don't know about the Church of Scientology?
No.
Oh man.
Look, I'm about to go YouTube this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's interesting as fuck about, you know, they believe the Thetans, you know, ancient alien ghosts and shit attached to you, how you feeling depressed and shit. Then they got whole little things you could pay to be cleansed of the shit. Like, you know, I mean, it's money to be made everywhere, you know. I seen people was posting that pastor that got robbed the other day and shit. And they was like, and the video they posted, I mean, it showed him living large and fat and shit like that. But I didn't see where he was like stealing the people's money. But there's money to be made.
Thank you, my brother, for kind of that was a slick little segue. I like how you did that. That was tight. That's actually next on my talking points on the real.
Oh, okay, for sure. Look at the universe.
That worked out.
My personality is out tonight. No. So first of all, let's say this. If I am a pastor or a preacher, right? And I'm a businessman, but I walk into my faith and I become, you know, I have whatever experience and I say, you know what, I'm a pastor. But I'm rich already. I'm already paid. And I'm that type of dude where I wear tailor suits and ride fly whips and, you know, we got money over here. Then I get into church, right? And people are looking at me saying, man, you blessed. Like, what are you doing? And I start saying, well, okay, this is the gospel, but this is how I'm working it, right? And so more and more people come. More and more people come. More and more people come. The ministry gets big and they say, look, you are really the architect behind this. So here's compensation. And you say, oh, wow, damn, I didn't know this much down there. Yeah, bro, we doing good. Now, we look at that man and say, oh, he out of order. He crooked. He foul. He ain't no real preacher.
Right.
And I want to know why. So if now the reverse is if you see a preacher and he's broken down and he's bummy riding in a bucket and all these people, ain't nobody gonna go to his church ragged ass. Look, his suit all old and shit. You didn't want to follow him because you say he broke. Well, shit, you don't look like you're doing so good. Why should I listen to you? So I think in a lot of cases, and I'm not saying it's the case in the New York thing, because this shit is all kinds of soap opera reality TV show written all over it. And we had this a couple years ago. It was the Preachers of LA. I don't know if y'all remember that reality.
Yeah, I remember that. Was
it the Pastors of LA? My wife and I used to watch it. It was a very interesting look at some of these brothers who got these huge kind of ministries, and they got a lot of money. So that's the first thing. I don't really see it when I see a pastor and he paid. I don't assume he's not a real man of God. I don't assume he crooked because he got money.
Right.
I will look at his ministry and say, man, all that bread. And look at the community around your churches, and look at the neighborhoods that you draw from. Like, I'll be critical of that, but nothing else. So, but the fact that this brother say $500,000 to $1 million was stolen in one fatal swoop, and then now did you see the press conference he had with the other two? What he called the one chick? The one lady. I gotta stop saying chick, y'all. I'm from the 90s and shit. I say chicks and shit. My wife. He was on there with a lady who's of a larger size, and he was on there with a brother who was of an alternative lifestyle. So he called him a fag and called her a fat bitch pig, right? Like, yes. He called her the notorious.
Did he really say the words?
Yeah, he called her the notorious fat pig, and then he said, "You was a big bitch, a thick bitch, or something like that, wide bitch." And then he said. And then he told the other dude that the church, this dude is gay, but he's a pastor. And he told him, like, you know, the church, we look down on homosexuality is an abomination or whatever the quote is. Right? Yeah. And then he said, but you want everybody to be a faggot because you a faggot. And so I guess they had made some disparaging remarks of like, why you got the jury on? Like, you know, because that shit went viral, right?
Yeah. So they arguing, a bunch of church heads.
Yeah,
but the church heads argue.
But he went gangster with like, motherfucker, don't play with me. Y'all know what the fuck going on with me. Fuck ain't that shit ain't funny. Like I was like, damn, cuz came out the bag, didn't he? So
damn.
People I gotta go back and watch that.
Oh yeah, it's in the People's News Network, baby. Right.
You know I got it for you. What you mean?
Right.
Hey man, I got that information, baby. I got that
I mean,
information.
if they was coming at his head for rocking that shit, me personally, when I seen the shit, I was like, damn, that's a fly ass insurance lick. Like that's the first thing I thought of. Like, I'm like, that nigga talking about $1 million worth of jewelry on the insurance shit.
Shout out Deion James. You got the scariest fucking picture I've ever seen in my life. That shit almost made me holler like, ah! Damn, that's crazy. Now go ahead, Real. I'm sorry.
I know. I was just saying. I thought it was an insurance lick. You know, me personally, but I mean, if it is real, you know, it's traumatic. No matter why he had the jewelry on or not. You know, shit. Don't worry about why he had it on.
No matter, there we go. So the fact that the pastor got the jury on, right? The fact that he's in the church, we just gonna skip over the fact that some dudes came up in the church, masked up with guns, and robbed him and his wife. Like
get past the whole congregation, like nobody thought to tackle these
on the live stream, and so we didn't even say nothing about that. We was just like, "What you doing with all that jury on?"
Right.
You see how he was talking to them people? That's probably how he be talking on the street and shit, talking slick and crazy.
But does that make you
set up? They feel like it was something he set up.
But does that make you not okay? So this is where being a preacher would I've had my brother DeAndre Love on here. I've tried to have Walter Lanier. I've always tried to include preachers, pastors, parishioners, whoever. If you're religious, you're welcome to come on the show. We can talk. We can do that. That dance. So this is where it comes in for me. Is like, does that mean because you have that ability to survive in the streets or that you can speak street, that you're a bad pastor? Because I keep saying, wasn't Paul Saul? Now I know he had kind of turned his life and said, I ain't gonna do that no more, Jesus. But somewhere deep down inside, you don't think he had none of it left in him, where he went to talk to the people and they'd be like, yeah, they with that bullshit. He'd be like, hold on, cuz. And you ain't got to disrespect me, nigga. I'm finna read this shit and move on. You good? Like, I mean, I don't think that makes him a bad pastor or preacher if he can break it down when he get on the block and say, hold on, check this out, cuz. Listen. And instead of that, no, brother, let me tell you something and all that shit.
No, I'm just saying, it's not making him a bad preacher. It's just probably why his ass got sweated. If the same way you was calling her a fat bitch and calling him a faggot, if you be talking to everybody else like that on the street, I'm sure niggas like, man, we finna go get that nigga.
These weren't people off the street, though. These are other pastors who had said some sly remarks. They had
shit to him.
No, so that's why I'm saying if he talks to them like that, we don't know how he talks to the average person. Meaning, it may have been, we finna catch folks
disrespect you,
on Sunday.
Whether you're religious or not, how do you talk to a person when they really cross you or disrespect you? Like, I guess you can say, God bless you, man. I ain't gonna worry about what you just did to me, God. You could say that, but if I do catch my pastor saying, fuck you, nigga, kiss my ass, nigga, son, I wouldn't pastor, I'm leaving the church. I'm like, oh, cuz you snap.
Right.
Did it. So,
but what if he a pastor that be talking to motherfuckers like that all the time? Though? Some people might be reckless.
Right, he might be. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. Look at these two words. Now we go into etymology, which is, see, I'm talking about epistemology tonight, but Rails is etymology. So
for
preacher,
sure.
Person, preacher, person. They're the same thing. So even when I'm a person who becomes a preacher, I'm still a person.
That can get robbed for talking that shit.
Well, now if you pray on it and I come back and lay y'all down, so I'm wrong then, you retaliate. Well, now we got to protect the temple, don't we? I mean, so it can go in many different directions. And if a person is easily misled, they'll jump on some of that shit I just said and be running with it. Like, no, you're supposed to pray for him and go lay him down. See that's how easy it is to do, right?
There's biblical evidence that would still be founded on Bible principles. So I mean, it's a matter of interpretation.
So tell me this: what if I did do that shit, right? What if I'm him, right? And I jump out on somebody, and they try to take my shit, and I pop them, and I holler out, "Old Testament fool." Do that mean I'm justified now? Because now I'm up. Do I get to go back now? I'm up under the Old Testament, so I can kill this dude for doing that, or he stole something. I can chop his hand off.
See, but I think that's fine. If he would have shot them or fucked them up in the process, you are totally right to do it. You get right. Why not?
Right.
Pastor or not, that don't make a difference. If I'm getting robbed, I'm gonna shoot you if I can. I'm gonna try.
Is there that kind of backward compatibility between the testaments where you can switch up and be like, I'm on my Old Testament shit today? You cross me.
People do that shit all the time when people try to talk to when people try to talk to you about tattoos, when people try to bring up the homosexual shit, like, you know, it seems like people pick and choose what Old Testament shit they want to ride with. Cause you know, I see people talk about pork and shrimp, don't eat them while they wearing poly cotton blends. And the same Levitical scripture that says don't eat pork or shrimp says don't wear clothing of diverse fabrics. So you know, people pick and choose. It's a Bible buffet. You know what I'm saying? They pick what they want.
Once again, it comes down to that good old fashioned epistemology. How and where are you learning what you're learning? I had a discussion with Brother Rick Muhammad. Shout out to Rick Muhammad. If y'all listen to the show, Brother Ram, Rick Alim Muhammad, who's a Muslim brother, he and I have had some classic back and forth debates over information because he always tells me, your problem is you read everything the white man print and give you. I'm like, meaning what? Oh, you follow the Associated Press and United Press. That's the only thing you look at. You don't understand that that's just some Western stuff. You know, you got to go get the news from the source. So I said, so get my news from other countries, right? He says yes, and I'm like, so get my information from countries whose government outwardly admits that they censor everything, and their media has no freedom. They'll go in there and machine gun the whole office today. That's who I should be listening to, right? And so we go back and forth about it because it's really about you stand on what you stand. Like he talks to me about Pizzagate, right? Like Pizzagate. And so my thing is when I say, well, the supposed location of Pizzagate in DC is not accurate as far as their description. Number one, because it has a basement. I mean, it doesn't have a basement in real life, but they say it has this basement. Now, one of my friends who went to Howard, shout out to Chris Johnson, who runs Kingfish MKE, he and I have discussed this. He say they don't put basements in houses in DC. Houses in DC don't have basements because the ground is not solid enough underneath. So he said, well, don't you understand what that means? That this is a top secret government built facility. And I said, Muhammad, they got the very location. Are they showing it? He said, no, you believe that because that's the picture they showing you. But he could never send me the picture that he had. Like, so, okay, send me the picture you had. Oh, don't worry about that. So once again, it comes down to where are you getting your information from and how are you learning it? Is it somebody who's speaking to me, teaching
me? In regards to that one, I can't tell you the locations, but I know that there are a lot of there's a lot of celebrities who had shit to lose for speaking on it that have spoke on it. There's even the dude from God damn it. Man, okay, it's a goofy ass dude too, and I don't want to call him goofy because he dead now. But he
not funny,
it was that dude he played on. I don't know if y'all ever seen that Will Ferrell movie when they was doing that casino shit. He was like the friend of him. But anyway, he ended up like getting ran over or some shit while he was on a jog, or they said. And you know, but that was after he had came out and was talking about, hey, they doing this shit. It's a lot of prominent people. We stuck in it because before we got a conscience, we actually was in part of this shit too. So they do got us by the nuts, but I don't even care no more because it just needs to be exposed. So the fact that people like suspiciously die after they speak on shit like this, to me it gives it merit. Just like all the holistic doctors that get found floating in rivers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't even about whether or not it had merit. It was about his belief that his news comes from more valuable
right.
So I'm not, you know what? Fine. If a motherfucker got ran over because he knew some shit, he doing some shit he wasn't supposed to do, fuck him. Now listen, I do believe this.
God damn.
No, for real. You fucked up. What you sad and shit? No, motherfucker gone. You shouldn't have been fucking kids.
I mean, he was trying to expose everybody else.
Bro, you know, you done did all the shit for years. Now you gonna tell on everybody else. Hell no, run his ass over, man. Get your ass out here. Gotta go.
Oh man. But I mean, you know, unfortunately, knowledge is always suppressed and filtered.
Hold on. I do want to say this because I don't want nobody to think I'm stupid.
Oh, for sure.
I know for sure that there is a very prominent, wealthy, powerful, highly ranking group of people who traffic sex and traffic prostitutes and this kind of thing. They run the sex industry as we know it. It's no doubt in my mind that it's celebrities that we look at every day and we would not even understand the levels of perverseness. Can you say perversedness that they are? You say, I didn't know that motherfucker was doing all that shit. Of course, that's
right. We still ain't got the list from that lady trial and shit.
Fact is, I think a lot of what people think they understand is low level information, and they give that off, and it misleads other people. Therefore, you really lose fact and sight of what the real issue is. So, if this is that rich and that powerful and that secluded, we don't know what it is. You wouldn't know. That's what the world does. It buries it. So we can say all that shit's Illuminati. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Well, I do know what that is. What? If you know about it, how can it be real? And you ain't got no money.
Right.
I'm researching because I'm deep. Right. They tried to run your ass over the dump truck while you jogging yet? Well, shut up, then. Damn. So got killed for saying this. Yet you're saying it on YouTube and you straight. Like, come on. So I do get, holistic doctors have. You gotta believe that because Big Pharma is too powerful. You gotta believe that. You gotta believe that there's some holistic dudes who done came across something and said, "Oh shit, I just found a cure for so and so and so." The motherfuckers say, "No, you didn't." Get that bottle. Let's go.
Right. That's how it go, man.
Yeah, of course. Like, but I don't, I ain't gonna go on YouTube and do a whole workshop about the shit and take a bunch of shit I heard from somebody else and no. It's enough for me to know that exists, right? Like I don't, and people like to give people information. I will tell you that I believe that, but I ain't gonna tell you, well, this where one dude live at. Right. Go to his house, ask him. Like, unless I know, then I put his ass on Front Street. I'm lying my ass off. Arthur, she said, "Good evening, y'all."
Good evening.
How you doing? It's Outlaw Radio, Smartazz tonight. We just being smartasses and know-it-alls on the show tonight.
I hope they got a cure for this damn pimping. Damn.
MC Tone. This nigga MC Tone is absolutely. I've been trying to get the brother home, man, so y'all don't blame me. He said, "I hope you got a cure for this." I don't think it's a cure for that, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't think it's ever going anywhere, right? Like the lowest level of life does. Like, how many times you see a little bitty bug, one bug out front, a bunch of little bugs following him? He the pimp. He pimping little pimp, right? They over there covered with some covering food, eating it. This one who directed the shit. No, you get that piece, bring it over here. On every level, right? Like, so no, I'm joking. I don't believe women should be pimped or objectified at all. I don't support that. And we know that pimping got a bad name now because it's so associated with underage,
right?
Messing with and being really cruel, like slapping. Like nowadays, you'd be like, that shit ain't really cool no more, bro. You can't you stay out of pimp business. All right.
When I was a teenager,
previously,
when I was like 17, I remember I was like on 41st and Right, and I was in this music video. I ain't never seen the video, but some people like, "Hey, you was in that video." Damn, but it was a video full of pimps. I remember that. And the pimps were so nice. They were so cool.
They people.
But I'm young, I'm slim, so of course they were nice and cool. But then I look over and a bitch gets slapped with a box fan.
Damn.
No, thank you, sir. I don't want to do like that. It was real. That was
listen.
That's some crazy
shit. Like 2005.
I grew up on 17th and Capitol, which is right there where Atkinson and Capitol come together. So that whole strip of Atkinson all the way back. When I was young, I'm talking about real, like it looked like the 70s, like the cars, the dudes with the taco meat, with the medallions hanging, with the hat, the shoes. We used to see it. We used to be like, we knew them. Said, "What's happening, young blood? What's going on, man? What y'all out here doing today?" The prostitutes would be walking up and down the street. They look good. They smell good. "Hey, baby, how you doing?" You be like, "Whoa, man, she
there wasn't no crackheads.
Well, it was this pre-1985.
All right. They smell good. That's what I'm talking about. They don't look like that now.
Then the proverbial shit fan, right? So it's like, whoa, the pimp was a crackhead. Now he out there still with the pimp shoes on. Like, bro, you can't wear that. No, motherfucker. It became a tragic scene. So I said that to say I've seen a lot of what they would call pimps, like real dudes who say they pimps, right? Like Pimpin' Ken has been on the show. And Pimpin' Ken was really close friends with one of my cousins. And so I've been with my cousin and seen him just on a like, that's your guy. You're like, yeah, man, that's yeah, man.
I gotta get my book to him, man. He publishing or a literary agent for
Right.
one of them publishing companies that got a deal with CVS.
He got a lot of shit going on.
Simon and Schuster or some shit like that. Something like that. But yeah, he doing this thing and he got that hip hop fraternity. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find a way to connect with him and rub elbows.
Okay, then pimping. Shit.
I think MC Tom said he had to slap one of his girls with a Vogue tire.
Damn,
like, super pimp. Like, super. Or either he smoked a lot and it was just like, I'm so strong. You fiending, you geeking out. Sharon Evans, let's say the hoes had class back in the days. Sharon Evans said the hoes had class back in the days.
That's nice. Now,
well, I mean, however you say it, like I'm saying, I remember those times when you would see and you say, man, because prostitutes dressed a certain way, they carried themselves a certain way. So it's like, wow, you knew, but she was always pretty. She smelled good and all that because she was trying to sell something. So yeah, it changed in the 80s when it was like, yeah, man, I'm going behind the back. And I was like, ugh, like, no, you running from this motherfucker.
Yeah, that ain't a prostitute. That's a crack whore, man. Like, that's what happened. It got overrun with crack whores instead of prostitutes about their money.
Got overrun with crack because a lot of them became crackheads. Like,
they did. This
goddamn pipe, bro. That's your.
Cam, you got crackheads in your family?
Everybody got a crackhead.
I mean, like in your immediate family. Let's say that. Did your mom or brothers mom or dad have sisters, have siblings?
I have crackheads in my family. Trust me. I don't want to say what side they on. They might be watching the show because I found out a lot of my family watches the show. So I don't want nobody call me. Yeah, motherfuckers, you telling my story on the podcast, man. No, as every family, every black family, there's, and I got a group of people that was once there and got off of it and have bubbled up and straightened themselves out. And I got a group of people who it took them a little bit longer. And I got some people who didn't even last.
Yeah.
And they dead now. So yeah, that's the effect of being from a very large black family though. But yeah. So I mean, I'm assuming you got people in your family.
We got crackheads. It seemed like mine is just in my aunts and uncles. It ain't like I got crackhead cousins or extended. It's right in my immediately. Because when we go to family reunion, ain't nobody else crackheads.
Just the aunties and
right,
uncles.
Exactly. The main part, but not nobody else.
Ain't that like the main part, auntie?
Exactly. That's why I said, how close is it for you? Because for me, it's right there. So
I got a mixture. I got a mixture. I got cousins. I got uncles. I got little cousins. I got old cousins. I got
Yeah, man.
A lot of my family was hustlers, so a lot of them got caught up by selling it. Like a lot of my family was at one point involved in some sort of criminal process with it, and then got down. And next thing you know, he's like, "Damn, cuz what happened to the lads? Oh man, I still got it. No, I don't think you." MC Tone said, "Even my dog smoked the pipe." Wow, if y'all watch MC Tone videos on YouTube and Facebook, he be actually on there like I'm smoking the pipe. Like that be the joke a lot of the times. He'd be like, man, give me him and Willie Brown just they fighting over the pipe. Like man, right? It's easy to go from Smartazz and be real cerebral to start talking about pimps and smoking crack. Right? Spend a couple hours with some black people. This is the kind of shit we go through, right?
Right. I mean, my family, my family were hustlers and pimps, but some of them did eventually wasn't crack. It was that boy, you know what I'm saying? And then even after they kicked that heroin, how do you say it for real? Heroin.
Yeah, black people say heroin.
Yeah, I was trying to say it correctly, you know, but it's boy a heroin, but heroin. Yeah, even after they kicked that heroin, you just see how like real shit. Having addict family members show you how there's no difference between the dope game and the government. Like, even after my family got off of heroin, they still was in this goddamn methadone program for all of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, or the half of my life. So it just show you how the government don't care if you on drugs as long as you addicted to their drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because that methadone clinic is a trip, man.
Yes.
It's a shit. It's a trip, man.
Yeah. Once again, we talk about black people. Start talking about all this kind of traumatic stuff, and normally it's one cousin who brings it to everybody. Like, it's one cousin who he start fucking around with it, then the cousin who be with him start fucking with it. Next thing you know, they whole little group, social group that they deal with is just like, man. So they get known as them, so and so and so and them. That's Lil John and them. You know, them motherfuckers smokers. That's what they do, right? And so that's how we process it in the family. Like, you know, that motherfucker smoked out, man. He on that boy or that heron. Why do black people say heron?
I don't even know, man. But
we're selling heron. That's like my mom used to say about, she used to call marijuana dope. She's like, you smoking that dope? I'd be like, who's smoking dope, mama? I'd be like, oh, that's just weed. That's dope.
That's just weed.
Like, I used to tell my mother all the time, you obviously have never smelled crack, mama. And I don't think she has. She was so old.
Right.
That's a blessing.
You obviously have never smelled crack if you think that's dope. That ain't dope right there. He said he just got out of rehab this morning. Man, God bless you, Ipsy Tone, if you done finally got your help, brother.
Good job, Ipsy Tone.
Right.
Proud of you.
Right. It's all about growth and elevation.
There is hope for you if you're out there and you're listening to the show and you're suffering from chemical dependency. Please don't hesitate to get some help from some motherfucking where.
Speaking of which, did y'all see
public service announcement? I'm just kidding.
I posted a video a couple days ago of an old 80s anti-drug PSA that it wasn't supposed to be funny, man, but as a kid and as an adult, I cracked the fuck up at this shit. Even when it's the one where that little boy be telling a story about his older brother sneaking in the house and like beating him up and shit for money. And he like, my brother's stuck in my house and going through my pocket, and then it show a clip of him getting his ass whooped, and he like, nobody's ever gonna make me do drugs. And I was like, dude, these PSAs, it was wild how they made black people with habits and problems seem like criminals and crack creatures, but as soon as the opioid epidemic hit the burbs, it became
a problem.
An emergency that we got to get these people help. But if you look at all those early 90 PSAs, whether it was showing a crack addict as the villain or the dealer as the villain, it was like, damn, man, that war on it just show you that war on drugs is really a con.
All bullshit. It was all bullshit.
Yeah, a con.
She said there's a few in my family back in the days that was selling powder that ended up hooked on their own product. They never smoked it, they just tooted it. That's what they all used to say though. I don't smoke this shit, I just toot it. Right. Ain't no crackhead, nephew. I ain't no crackhead or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me $7. You ain't going nowhere getting $7 worth of powder, bro. It's only $7 for crack, small crack sacks. Come on, man. That's shaky.
Yeah.
But no, that fucked me all up. But you're right about the opioid epidemic. But here's the deal. They even went a step further with my generation because McGruff the dog, the program used to come. The dog, actually, the dude dressed up like the dog.
I remember the Dare program.
Yeah.
That shit was
Dare, hang tough, all that shit.
Flip your hand up. I swear I would never do drugs. I'd never be in the gang. Now when I think back on who all had their hand raised, I'm like,
all of that.
Them was lying.
Right.
We broke that shit within 3 years.
Right.
Some of us went home and got high that day. It's just crazy, man.
But as you look back, it was all basically having kids police their family. If you see your dad doing anything, let your teacher know. Like, it was like, damn, you know, it basically put informants in your family as the kids.
Maybe if they told the truth back then on the fact that they were actually the ones who was bringing the dope in, it probably would have changed our perspective a little bit. right? They just neglected to tell you, oh yeah, by the way,
the CIA
been giving weapons to some dudes in South America to stop communism.
right.
And their only real product is cocaine. So we've been allowing it in wholesale tons, metric tons for the last 12 years. They forgot to tell us that shit. They said, don't do drugs. Just say no. Like, man, it's such a crock of bullshit. But
man, it was a CIA agent that did come clean about that shit, and
plenty of them.
He committed suicide by shooting himself in the head twice.
Well, you talk about the dude Gary Webb from Gary Webb. Right. Are you talking about Gary Webb in LA who wrote the article that connected the CIA? If you watch that on Snowfall, right? And he shot himself in the right side of the head, but he was left-handed. Damn,
that shit is wild, man.
Right. Why you didn't have to tell me that, Kev? I didn't even make it to that part on Snowfall yet.
It's in the beginning.
Was it? Look, let's start again. Is it season 1?
I think that might be. But see, they changed it. They changed it for the story, so you would have to know the real story. See, I know the real story.
Got season 2. This where the white dude popped up at it. See, you the fucked up. I ain't even seen it yet, kid.
The white dude's been there. Reed's been there from the start. He was there from the start. So but I'm gonna say what they made it. The character in Snowfall is like an Asian lady who's a newspaper reporter, and Franklin's father. I don't want to blow it for you if you ain't watching.
Don't blow it then, Kev. Like you ready to tell me the story right now?
Because
I'm ready to hear it. I'm like, what happened?
Man, you know I'm in that shit. I'm in that motherfucker like Uncle Jerome got a stereo shop and shit. Like,
okay, I seen that.
I can't watch shit like that, man. Like I can't I can't watch shit like that.
Every blue moon I can, real. It's like
I hate it because they always try to present it in a way that, like, you would swear up and down to everybody who sold drugs, they ended fate was dead or jail. And it's like, I know motherfuckers that's thriving. They did they shit, got legit, and now they good as fuck. Like, so I hate all that shit that make it seem like crime don't pay, because when they telling the story, they always gonna try to tell it as the victors and shit. You know, the last series I allowed myself to get hooked on was The Wire, and after that shit, I said never again, man. Never again.
The Wire was the shit, man.
Never again.
Goodness gracious!
I always wanted to watch The Wire. I never did.
The Wire,
go back and watch The Wire.
The Wire is the greatest television series.
It's so dope because it show you the police side and the politics side. It show you how politics control everything down
even when they kind of switch away from the projects, and I think in like the second season when everybody got mad when they focused on the shipping yard with the union dudes in the shipping yard. People like, man,
that's politics though. That's how shit works. That's how shit runs.
But I wanted to say about Snowfall, the interesting thing, what makes it interesting for me is that this is parallel with the real life story of the real Freeway Ricky Ross from Los Angeles.
Okay.
Like, he is another example of a brother who would tell you, my connect was a South American who had CIA connections.
Right.
I wasn't aware at the time why this was all of a sudden I was allowed to get access to this, but he's documented. He lived this life. Like, he went through, but he did a lot of time, right? One thing that he did was he participated in the destruction of a community. And for him, it was about the money at first. And I think unbeknownst, you don't know that this is going to become a plague. Nobody could have knew crack was going to do what it did. At first, it was just like, dude, I just literally made $10,000 in 2 hours. This is the greatest shit ever. You don't think in 3 years, this whole community is going to be destroyed. People going to be a whole different world. You didn't think about it like that. So, and some people did say, I got to stay away from this shit and kind of change the way they got money. So I agree in that regard. But most brothers who got in the dope game, it does end in death or jail.
Yeah.
For most of us. Don't get me wrong. I know some brothers walk around too, like, man, this dude, I got a couple tow trucks now. Like, you know,
right.
He's still a man. He's still a man.
Yeah, he still ain't got no job. But, you know, I'm a businessman, cuz I got properties and shit. Like, you like,
that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Man.
Open a little cigar shop up, man. Look for me a bar or something. Like,
right.
Right.
Hauling the shit out some gravel.
Right. That's how you do it.
That's like the over the rainbow way it works out, because most of the time it don't work out like that unless you just get out and walk away. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, if you stay in it and you in it to win it, it's gonna come crashing down. T.R. Arthur said the majority of them got caught up and ended in prison or 6 feet under. Yeah, most of them. Once
I
again,
mean, yeah.
I got some family members right now that's cool. That at one point they was like, whoa, for real? Now they whatever, maybe they did a little time, whatever happened, but they've been out of it for a long time and they still doing well. So it's like, okay,
Mhm.
it is life after. So I hope people are happy. I hope people are happy now because Biden has tried to submit a deal to get Brittany Griner out. He's proposed, I guess, a Russian prisoner that we have for her and another American. And they said that he didn't really give the details of what the offer is, but he's saying, okay, we'll do like a prisoner exchange for Brittany Griner. So I guess people are happy right now.
Fuck that, man.
Are they still
Because they
trying to
don't want
offer
no regular person. Anybody Russia wants is somebody that's really worth something to them. Like they wanted the arms dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Is it still the arms dealer
thought
they're
it was
trying
the
to
arms
get?
This shit equivalent.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, it's
He
the
had to
arms
sit in
dealer.
there fucking with me.
You said he got to sit in there?
I mean, she would have had to sit in there fucking with me. Like,
Shit,
President
for doing the
can't
same
trade
shit
nobody,
America
big baby.
do. Like that
Nobody
be the crazy thing to me, man. Like when America portrays somebody, it's like they a villain. But then you be like, damn, they just doing the same shit America do. They was selling weapons to a motherfucking country. We just didn't like the country they was selling weapons. I mean, it's always, again, just like the drug shit. They
but the
want
shit was to bomb us though. So
I mean, he was an arms dealer. You know what I'm saying? They
You know,
just like America, the arms dealer.
you know,
like,
so I feel like we shouldn't be giving him up if that's who they talking about. Fuck that, we gonna keep him right here because he going right back to work. We back trying to bomb America.
Shit. They was dropping guns off into the hood for us to kill ourselves. These are our people. They arms dealing. So
what are we telling people? What are we telling people? Because
that we with the bullshit. Everybody, all the governments don't
well,
trust them.
I'm saying with Brittany Griner, she broke a law, right?
Yes.
And people gonna say, Kev, man, that's fucked up. But I'm
She
saying
broke a law.
anyway. I'm known for saying fucked up shit. She broke a law, right? And she got caught, right? And we say, go and do your time. Now it just so happened that she in Russia where they like, no, you motherfucker do 10 years for this shit over here. You got me fucked up. But she technically broke the law. Yeah. Now, are we saying because she's American, fuck y'all laws, come on, send her home? Right? Is that what we saying? Or is we saying, damn, we're gonna put some money on your books while you there and try to make sure you safe? And and we'll talk with them and make sure we can talk to her while she's doing her time. But does she deserve her sentence? Like if they say, no, that's 5 years, you got to do 5 years. She can't say, but I didn't do nothing. They put this shit in my bag. So I'm just saying, should we be trying to bring her home?
No.
Okay.
Would they be trying to bring me home, Kev? Would they be trying to bring you home, Kev? If I took one of them trips to Colombia, to Dubai, and I had my kid with me, would they be bringing me motherfucking home, Kev? Would niggas even know my name? Courtney Francois.
There might. Well, you know what? I do kind of agree with you because what was the little white boy name who went over there and thought he was slick? It was Korea, China, or something. And the punishment, he had to get lashes on his ass.
In Singapore for spray painting some shit. He got them lashes. He got caned. They called it caned and shit.
It was like, get your ass in cell. Still over here, spray paint.
Damn, I forgot about that.
I've been waiting to break out my Asian accent. Right? Spray paint over here.
Oh man. Yeah, I think it was like Singapore or something. They don't play over there.
Yeah, that's my point. Wouldn't nobody give a fuck if it was us? So it's just that because she's somebody that's kind of known, other celebrities that spoke up, but it was the average nigga.
I mean, we deal with that shit all the time in America.
Tiasha Arthur said it's now being said she has a medical card for the marijuana. Is it a Russian medical card? Though?
Right, it's still illegal over there.
This means nothing to us. Get your ass
right.
I'm on fire tonight with my accent. My Russian shit. Get your ass in cell.
But it happens in America too. I mean, shit. Just across the lake in Michigan, a motherfucker can grow up to 12 plants without any license or anything like that. In Wisconsin, they are illegal drug growing operation. Right. They having the news that had you sounding like the kingpin and shit. But just across the lake, it could be a soccer dad with a whole growing op going in a room, and because of where he's located, it's okay. So we deal with that shit here. In Russia, it's not okay.
Well, okay, so that's what I'm saying. So if this is the case, if I'm in Nevada, you understand, and I'm trying to get across the line, and I got a couple keys or something, and they catch me and say, well, this is a violation. You can't come into Nevada with this shit. We finna put you in jail. Should I be calling home to Wisconsin saying, oh, they got me fucked up. They got me over here in Nevada locked up.
Hell yeah, put Evers on the phone, niggas.
Evers.
Help. I mean, then that's how everything
Kevin.
would be for everybody. Folks, you broke the law.
He said, MC Tone said he got a car for marijuana. It's called Quest. You're right, MC Tone. This shit is a multi-purpose card. That Quest. But yeah, and look, first of all, I don't want to, because if it was my people, I'd be like, man, we got to bring them home. But at the same time, I understand, like, damn, because people say, well, what if it was LeBron James, right? First of all, let me tell you something. I think this is my personal opinion. I think LeBron is smart enough to say, hey, don't y'all bring shit on this goddamn plane. I'm not gonna go to jail on this motherfucker. Y'all get that shit. We get back in Ohio. You motherfuckers smoke all you want. Put that shit out. If LeBron James went strolling through the airport in Russia with some blunts and some weed in his bag, and they said, oh, LeBron, you must go to jail, I wouldn't be like, oh, we got to bring LeBron home. I'd be like, that nigga LeBron fucked up. You fucked this nigga in the airport with some blunts, and this didn't say, well, it said it was illegal, but I couldn't read Russian. I didn't know. I mean, so, and it's a petty crime. People say, well, to us, that ain't nothing. A few vape cartridges or hashish oil. But if they got it down as you cannot do, you cannot do.
Exactly.
So, you know, he said, go and do your time. I think Russia gonna be like, nah, we got this. She in court now, right? So, you know, she might.
Because like in Dubai, you can't do that shit. Like it was no liquor stores, no nothing. I can't imagine if I would have tried to fly in with a bottle of liquor. What the fuck would have happened?
Shit, you would have been up under the Dubai jail. They don't play over there, man. They don't give a fuck if you a celebrity. Like they do not play over there.
I wouldn't even
just have a little drink. You know?
I wouldn't even want to be there. I don't trust people that don't drink. You be like, I don't drink. I'd be like, I don't trust that motherfucker.
Damn.
Oh, for real. Especially they be like, I don't drink or smoke. I'd be like, this motherfucker the feds, y'all. Y'all already know this.
I mean, they got a little bit of liquor, but it's light. Me and my homegirl, we both had a liter a piece. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And we was just slightly.
No wine, you can't. Oh, because if you get like public drunkenness, they'll be like, oh no,
you can't be doing nothing over there. They ain't.
So you ain't. If she was doing this in Dubai, they'd be like, nah, America, y'all keep that. We got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay, this is another one, right? I hope people look. It's Outlaw Radio Smartazz on a Wednesday night. Shout out to Kamar because he was on earlier. He had a bunch of black businesses, and I didn't. You know, I want to promote black businesses, but I'm one of them dudes who like to planning to do something with this show. Now, with other shit in my life, I don't plan at all. I just free ball it. Like, fuck it, I'm just out here. But for some reason, with this show, I'm very meticulous on how things need to be set up in order for us to do what we want to do. So promoting businesses is the same way. Look, we're open to coming to people's businesses, doing a live from there. If y'all would say, man, just come on and show, we'll do that shit. Ain't no problem. But we got to first talk about a little compensation, and then we have to have a plan to execute it. So, and this one was going to be free. We don't, and because if you say I ain't got no money, I'm just trying to get started, we understand that too, right? But we just got to plan it out. So anybody who wants to, promote your product or come on, you got a book, you got a new store, whatever you selling online, just let me know in advance so I won't have to rush through it. T.R. Sharpton said they need to get her. I believe they're beating on her.
They beat on people here.
Damn.
They beat on motherfuckers here all the time.
Yeah, don't nobody want to be in no damn Siberian ass prison though. But I mean, that's like
right?
That's like one of the shit. That's probably like one of the worst places to go to jail, man.
I wouldn't want to be over there.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. You know what? I'm not really the type of dude to say, well, I'm finna go to Moscow next week. Right. And especially if I'm over there, I'm not going to be the type of dude like, this some good ass weed. I'm taking some of this shit back on the plane with me.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm going back home and I just got paid. I'm finna stop in Cali. Motherfucker, I'm straight. I mean, I can do it out, right? Take a Tylenol if you need hurting. I don't know what's wrong with her.
But Kev, at the same time, it's like we all know that we in the middle of some shit. We all know that America's sanctioning Russia and shit. Why would you think this is the time to do? No,
well, she said I went over there because my teammates needed me, because a lot of people did say there's a travel ban. Why would you even be over there during a time like this? It was totally bad timing. You met the wrong motherfucking night. Like, oh shit, son. Like for real. So yeah, you know, I say if they give her like 20 years, then I say Americans should say, nah, man, come on, man. Let's do a deal or something. Give her 2 or 3, and but I don't just to skip out. I don't believe it's no letter. Huh?
Still sanctioning them and shit.
That's what they probably gonna ask for, and Biden gonna be like, "Let me call you back." When they be like, can we get some milk over here? Some fresh milk, motherfucker? Eat cereal with water on it.
Niggas and be like, hey, but we need a favor though. I mean, I know you know.
No, a sanction situation.
Right. So don't mind that. But can we get her back though?
Now we talked about this on the show last week too, and I keep saying this, and I guess this is just gonna be the trend forever because I've seen it happen so many times over the last 10 years since this information superhighway is, you know, kind of come together. Every time somebody wants to say something and gets noticed or be relevant, or any kind of person that's dead and they following ain't what it was, got to use Tupac motherfucking name, right?
Again?
Here come this motherfucker will.i.am, right? will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas, right? Now I'm gonna talk about what he said, and I understand what he was saying because in this instance, I wasn't just clickbait. I read what he said.
Yeah.
Right? But see, the thing about this is this is a crafted statement because there's a way to say what he said without saying Tupac or Biggie's name, right? So that lets you know it's common knowledge. If I say one of them names, boom, it's up in lights. So he says, and he's from our age group, our generation. He says, I never liked Tupac music or Biggie's music or gangster rap music or none of that because I'm from the projects and I live the projects every day. So I didn't want to hear them talking about this and what I felt like was glorifying it. I was motivated by Tribe and by, you know,
De La Soul
and De La Soul and the hip hop. So I didn't never like that music. That wasn't my type of music. Well, first of all, your first record deal was from Eazy-E. That's the first thing. But the second thing is there's a way you could say I was totally against the street rap, the gangster rap from the start. I never listened to any of it because it wasn't where my focus was. I was more focused on fundamental hip hop from the East Coast, Tribe, whoever. There's no need for you to say Tupac's name. There's no need for you to say Biggie.
Right.
Right. And it's always somebody who's saying it, in my opinion, whose position in hip hop is kind of compromised. And I said that because when T-Pain said it, we said, come on, man. T-Pain for real? Like, you're not even on it. Your level in this game ain't even high enough for you to say that about Tupac. So we look at will.i.am and you say, well, there was a hip hop angle to it at first, and then it just became this superficial pop shit with a English girl named Fergie, who was then made the focus of the group and who was really it was all about until the pop shit, until them really saying, yes, Black Eyed Peas and all that. And in my opinion, your music was garbage in the first place. So even if you looked up to Q-Tip and the boom bap from the East Coast, because I love that too. I came up off all of it. KRS One, EPMD, Eric B and Rakim, all of that. I understand it. There's a special place in my heart for that as well. But the music you made wasn't even true to that. Mm-mm. That pop ass shit with Fergie and all that shit ain't got nothing to do with hip hop. So I can't tell that you is so inspired by this shit. So I just need for you just stop. Like, you ain't got to name drop a motherfucker. What's that say? Your mama said you ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say shit. I think that's how it goes. Some way it go like that, right? If something nice or don't get slapped in your mouth, some shit like that we say about people talking. So that's my take on will.i.am, but I just want youngsters. And I guess like youngsters who wasn't alive during the time when Tupac was actually living. And I do realize if you're 30 years old right now, you don't remember Tupac was alive. You was a baby, a very small child, if that, when he was
remember
born.
Selena.
Barely. Very, 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 like, you know.
That.
From the movie.
So a lot of young people now, especially that have grown up and gotten involved in hip hop. And I just say, okay, so if you 22 right now and you in hip hop, you the latest thing, you wasn't even born when the man died. It was years after he died, but damn near 10 years before he was born. So you don't understand it and you don't get it and you don't understand what our people, how motivated and how aware we actually were as young black people when Tupac was alive. Now, Tupac died when I was about, was it 1996? Was it 1996? 96?
I believe so. 95, 96.
Yeah. I don't
96.
know why I don't know that, but because I feel like I should know
Yeah,
that.
because I was in like the
I was 21.
I was in like the 7th grade, I think, 8th grade. No, I was in the 7th grade because I remember motherfuckers was crying on the school bus like, y'all don't understand, Tupac is like our prophet. And
Right. Well, I don't know about that.
You know,
I mean,
they was crying on the school bus.
So
I was
people
like,
were
damn.
crying.
He
People was
died in
crying.
96, September
Okay,
13th.
so I was 20. I was getting ready to turn 21 years old. I was a junior in college, right? So I was grown. That's all I'm saying. And so, but I remember up until that point being a supreme hip hop head. No other kind of music, maybe except for some SWV, you know, sprinkled in there somewhere, a little Mary J. That's always part of the game, right? But super hip hop head. So I remember what it was like when his music was coming out and how the rap game was going. So if you came up on this Laffy Taffy shit and all this, watch me woo and whoa, I totally get why you don't understand it. I totally. But Will.i.am is different because you an old ass man, right? So you had no reason to say their names. I just feel like the fact that he said their names kind of made the statement kind of pointed, and it kind of indicated to me that you want some attention. What, you got a single coming out or something? Fergie coming out of retirement and shit. What the fuck going on? Right. What's going on? Now, Real, you had a different perspective because I put it in the People's News Network and you said he's dropping facts.
No, I said he's saying some real shit because what he was saying was, well, what I was saying when he was saying some real shit is that because he basically said the same shit that Dame Dash said to me. Like, it's a Dame Dash interview where he was like, man, I lived in the hood. When I was in my car or listening to music, I didn't listen to hood shit because music was my escape. He was like, I live the hood every day. So when I listened to music, he was like, I'm listening to rock. I'm listening to shit motherfuckers didn't think I'd be listening to, because why do I want to hear about the hood? I live that shit every day. So I was just saying he was saying real shit on that aspect. And as far as the whole Eric B and Rakim and KRS-One, you know, because, and I never know if these interviewers asked them about Tupac and Biggie and then just hit play when they start speaking. But from what I seen him say, he said as far as like the greatest in rap, I never really considered it to be Tupac or Biggie because I never really listened to that kind of music.
So
yeah,
as a hip hop fan, I and people say I don't mean to cut you off, but they still cut you off.
Oh, it's all good.
I mean, cut you off. Motherfucker, you cutting me off. Like, so, if you are a hip hop fan or a supporter, a member of what's supposed to be the culture, the real community, and you know what it is, and you understand the essence of it, if you say Biggie and Tupac were not the greatest or one of the greatest that you've ever heard, I don't give a fuck if you listen to opera and ballet. I don't give a fuck what you listen to. When it came to hip hop rap music, if you say neither one of them are great to you, then you are an idiot and you're not a real fan. You're not a real supporter of hip hop. I'm kicking you out the community, right? And
they wasn't in my top 5, G. They wasn't like,
see,
you know,
but you ain't from, but you're not from the group I'm talking about, the group of people, the hip hop that I grew up on. You came behind us.
Okay.
So
yeah, because in 96, 95, 96, you know, that's when Do or Die dropped Pope Pippin. So
yeah, but
I was
so much that had happened by 1996.
I was in Chicago by the time he died. I was I told you I was in that Midwest chopper shit. So it was right. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, you know, shit like that around that time.
But it was so much that had happened before 1996. And that's why I say it's not some people's fault because they wasn't born.
Yeah.
They just wasn't there. It ain't just, I ain't all, yo, you ain't shit. No, you just wasn't. I'm old and you're not, right? Like, like you was just born. I was already 12 or 13. Not talking about you specifically.
Right.
These people. So we talking about when BDP comes out for the first time, you hear Rakim, you hear Big Daddy Kane, you hear Nas, you hear. That was the rap that I came in on. All the rap that they consider the most classic shit now and the greatest shit that got this culture over is the shit that was made during my era as a youngster. From 86 to 96, rap goes from the earth to the stratosphere. And that's me going from 10 to 20 to 21. So,
like, what do you mean though? As far, because I mean, as far as like political issue, I mean, like as far as like I guess issues for the community. There were other rappers speaking on that shit, like Rakim and them. So I mean, I understand Pac was speaking for the community and shit, but other rappers were speaking for the community as well.
but it's not the same energy, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, because first of all, Pac wasn't the first rapper to be conscious or even do any. Paris talked about the Black Panther shit before Pac did, right? You care. PE is talking about Black Panther shit way before.
Right.
The message of Karis One and X-Clan and Poor Righteous Teachers and
Brand Nubian,
all Brand Nubians, all these dudes, that whole movement. They was talking about all of that.
That was some good ass times.
But none of them had what Pac had in terms of the energy that he brought to the table, the passion that he brought to the table.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Passion, like you could tell this brother was like for real about what he was doing. The level of talent to be able to go do a blockbuster movie and have a double platinum album and then go shoot 2 off-duty officers for whatever reason in Atlanta and then be back in LA making a movie. Right? Like, so no other rapper they did that. Chuck D didn't do that. Like Chuck D was already old when we was when I was 10. I'm like, who is this old ass man? Sound like my daddy on the mic, man. So yeah, man, I love
him. He do sound like somebody's daddy.
60 years old, man. Right now, he's 60 years old. So now I tell you what, there's some old heads out there who say, Kev, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Because I remember when Rapper's Delight first came out, nigga. I'm the first generation of hip hop fan. I remember Grandmaster Flash and the Message. Yeah. Now you're right. I was about 5 or 6. So
broken glass everywhere.
But there's no way you're gonna be able to tell me them old dudes could like out rap Pac. See, that's the one thing. It don't matter what generation you from. There's no generation that has an artist better or more prolific than Tupac was in hip hop. Now, who would you point at as an MC? Because you got that. I disagree.
I mean, it's subjective. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, shit, you heard some of Melly Mel recent shit? Like he still spit. Like, I mean, he'll still drop some shit.
I ain't gonna lie. I did not expect you to say. I thought you were gonna say Kendrick or somebody.
Oh no, I thought we was talking about the old. I thought we was talking about the old heads. You know what I'm saying? I heard Melly Mel spit, and I mean he still talk that shit. And you know what I'm saying? And anybody who, if he said some shit about Pac, I dare somebody to run up on Melly Mel buff old ass today.
He said Tupac was the greatest ever. He said that in his opinion, Tupac was greater than Biggie, and he's from New York, right?
So a lot of people feel that way.
Mel has said that, like, dude, you never seen. He like, I was around the brother. I talked to the brother. I was with him. He was finna get us a deal. He had actually met them out in L.A. And him and his boy, the other dude, not the whole Furious 5, but I forget the one who he said was with him. He was like, man, he popped it off. We had like a $75,000 check in 2 days. So yeah, I mean, Melly Mel said that though. So what I'm saying is, no matter what generation you're from, right? Like, so you be about this new shit, because I know my son right now will laugh at me and be like, what are you talking about, Dad? NBA Youngboy is the coldest dude out here. My son love NBA Youngboy. A lot of them Detroit dudes, but I will give my son credit for one thing. Happy birthday to Shorty, anyways. Shorty gonna be 16 tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh shit! Happy birthday!
He's a little bitty ass dude, man. Now he about to be he trying to grow up on a player.
I listen to some of the Detroit cat. Like one of my favorites from out of Michigan is Payroll Giovanni, because he
knows who he is.
Oh, you said you don't know who he is?
I said I'm sure he does, but my son listens to a lot of Milwaukee shit on the real. He listens to a lot of dudes from here.
I still listen to old Milwaukee cat. Baby Drew, Cuckoo Cal. I still listen to old.
You hang around a bunch of old ass dudes with church socks on with their shoes.
Right. Ali G. I like that type of shit, man. You know.
Joy said, "Don't forget about Gangstar." Yeah, Gangstar, DJ Premier and Guru. Rest in peace to Guru.
Yeah,
that's Guru, but that's from that same era, though.
Immortal Technique be spitting too.
I just heard the song he had today on Sirius XM. Was it Obsession or some shit like that? He was
Immortal Technique.
Yeah, I just seen the song.
He be coming. He be saying some shit like I don't like. That's still like my forte of rap. Like I'm an oddity when it comes to music, man. Because I would likely get pelted by all kind of tomatoes and shit because of like the people that people put on the platform. I'd be like, oh, I acknowledge them as dope, but they're not people I listen to. I don't really listen to Jay-Z on the regular. I don't listen to Rick Ross on the regular. So I know that my take, I'm probably an oddball anyway when it comes to this hip hop shit.
And that's okay. That's okay. But what is not okay to be is disrespectful. So like I said, if you were like, cause you said Tupac and Biggie ain't even in your top 5, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody was to say, "Real, what's your top 5?" The real way to do is just to name who was in your top 5.
Right. I wouldn't say fuck them. They
Tupac and Biggie ain't in it. First of all,
I mean, because they were gifted and I love Biggie's storytelling. Like his storytelling was cold, but Pac had storytelling. Like one of my favorite Pac songs will always be "Brenda's Got a Baby,"
which is one of my least. Right?
Like, that's one of your least.
Yeah,
it's still relevant to today.
It was squishy when I first heard it.
Okay. I feel
at that time I was young, man. I was probably
you like I get around more.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if any sad ass Brenda got hell. Turn that shit off.
Don't you know she got it? Right. Brenda knows.
Left it in the garbage can. Turn that shit off. Damn. What's the next song?
Oh shit.
That Tupacalypse Now was a hell of an album too, because it did have If My Homies Call, it had Violent, it had Trapped, it had, had a bunch of stuff on there, a bunch of cold songs, but it was just that as a single. I was like, what? I really wasn't really on. I wasn't really on, because I thought he was in the movies, and I'm like, oh, this must be some dude trying to be a pretty boy. Well, I didn't really get with Tupac in terms of listening till Strictly for My Niggas.
Okay.
When that album came out, and it was like boom, so I started listening to it, and I heard him on that MC Breed Gotta Get Mine, because I was a Breed fan.
I gotta get mine.
I'm like,
gotta get yours.
I gotta listen to this nigga Tupac from now on. He snapped on there. So, anyways, but I'm just saying, I feel like will.i.am should shut the fuck up, right? I don't. He's thinking right to his opinion. I got the right to say, man, shut the fuck up. Like, man, he got the right to say that. Well, I got the right too. Well, who said I don't got the right? Like, to say, man, sit your dumb ass down. What you talking about? And once again, I'm alive when Biggie comes, and we see now the controversy that I talked about the other night with this Notorious Big One, this song, that Juicy song. Now you see it spinning now. So people who heard it on the show the other night thought it was mine. Nope. And now people are starting to hear the song, so they really saying, God damn, throw the shit out this shit for dude. So, and no, he's not as good as rapper as Biggie. Biggie didn't take his lyrics, but if you listen to the song, it's his song. Juicy is his song. And you can't tell me Puffy didn't pick that up off a pile somewhere and say, who the fuck? This shit's ours, because we finna go get the price for that sample. And you know what I mean?
I mean, that sounds like some shit Diddy would. I used to tell people Diddy was the devil. I said, I was like, dude, you can't convince me Diddy ain't the devil, because ain't nobody able to flourish after they try to leave him. The only person that successfully got away from Diddy and still thrived was like Jeezy, but he wasn't even really like officially with Diddy.
And Rick Ross? Who signed? Did Rick Ross sign? Did Diddy sign Ross?
No, he never had Ross.
Who found Ross?
Ross came on from, actually, to tell you the truth, from
Slip
the story.
And Slide, I thought.
He's been through, he was a Southern, like he went through Suave, through Tony Draper, and then through Slip and Slide. So he was Florida-based, Miami-based. He never really, right, because they wasn't going, because, hip-hop cats don't tell the truth about it. I'm always in the Podverse, right? Like, I'm always on YouTube watching Doggy Diamonds and watching all these old school rappers get interviews, and I be trying to get them on. They be ignoring me. I ain't gonna lie. It's all good.
It's gonna happen.
The East was at one point so fucking super cocky that they wouldn't even entertain the thought of any other region's music as quality, of any quality. Like the East Coast used to, and this is when I was young, and that's why I said we ended up with this East Coast, West Coast thing, because New York radio wouldn't play West Coast music. They wouldn't play down South music. That's why you hear Too Short on In the Trunk when he say, and after 2 platinum albums, you call me weak because I don't sell records in the East. Because this dude is triple platinum, but nobody in New York bumps. Well, found out later it was a bunch of dudes bumping this shit in New York, right? Getting on the radio, man. So yeah, East Coast dudes, you know, that's why people say they are they say that's why they are hip hop is ruined. That the East Coast ruined it, and the South just took rap by the choke. They took it from the West Coast and just never let go. Like the South is, come on, man. Right now, the South dominates hip hop, man. It's like crazy. So, and it's funny that the drill music goes from Chicago and the Midwest to New York, and now drill music is actually the number one form of music in New York, right? Oh yeah, that's why they got all of the law enforcement, got the police that came out. The radio's banning. They won't play drill music on the radio because they had so many murders.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So
drill music.
Yeah, drill music, man. Drill music. That's some crazy wild shit, man. That's wild. Like if you ever listen to any of it, you be like, damn, for real? Like, okay, I guess it's not really for me, but I'm old. So.
Yeah, it ain't for me, man. Right. Yeah, but yeah,
I don't think it's supposed to be for anybody, Kev. I don't think so. Unless you're gonna go to war.
Somebody listen to it. Somebody listen to it. Yeah, that's their whole culture. That's their whole culture, man. It's like it's damn near seem like these young cats don't feel fulfilled unless they got somebody they can call an op. Like, I don't want no fucking ops. I'm about cooperation. Let's get this money together. Shit. Like, I don't need nobody to be mad at what I'm wearing. You know, about to make these niggas mad in the club, man, with what I'm wearing. Like, nah, that ain't my aspiration. Or what you were saying, they put energy into the prioritize the wrong shit. Well, they prioritize making enemies. Like, how the fuck that go?
But you know what? Well, once again, man, you always manage to like serve volley in the conversations on this show, which is when you said that about trying to appeal to the females. I forgot that young males between a certain age are consistently doing a mating dance. It's a mating ritual.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural thing where he's trying to have, you know, the biggest feather or the biggest, you know, horn on his head. Like he's out there to, you know, the stud horse got to come out in the pen and show that mayor, like, hey, check this out. Don't let him knock you down. You know, I'm the one. So it is a lot of times with the clothes and the showing out and saying, yeah, you know, you trying to attract females, right? To a certain degree. Here's where it goes wrong at Milwaukee, because we know right now domestic violence is at an all-time high. How many women have been murdered in domestic disputes in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah,
a whole bunch of them. So this shows me that a lot of this posturing you doing ain't really just to attract the female. You really fucked up in the head, right? Like, so it's cool at first to be out here like, yeah, I'm striking out on these niggas there, woo woo woo, until you pull a gun on her one day and she be like, wait a minute, motherfucker, for real? And he's like, yeah, bitch, you already know how to get down. Like, oh,
right.
What my mom used to say, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry.
Yeah, so, but that on the flip side of that too, and I'm not trying to victim blame or no shit like that, but a lot of times, a lot of women want you know what it's some I ain't gonna say dumbass song. It's some song now that they be doing on that TikTok, like she say that she, you know, she like it over here. This is where the shooters be and shit like that. It's like, so some women like the toughest, meanest, scariest motherfucker on the block, not realizing that, okay, he's a puppy dog with you because you're in his favor and he likes you right now. But if it ever come to a day where he's faced with losing you and you already on your way out the door, so he like, fuck it, you leaving anyway. Let me treat you like I treat everybody else out here. Now you done got the meanest nigga on the block that your daddy and brothers probably can't even handle this shit. You know what I'm saying? So they don't think about that shit, man.
So that's why I said, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. Yeah. I you know what I think one thing that we got to review for our young people is how they actually are choosing. Like, because once again, it's a natural reaction for that female to look out there and say, like you said, I want the biggest dog on the yard. I don't want no peon. I want the alpha male. I want that nigga, thug ass, gangster ass nigga with that money and that power and that respect. I want to be his girl, right? And then she don't realize, like you said, when you fall out of his favor, it's hell to take to the captain. Now you didn't get slapped upside your goddamn head in Walmart, looking around like.
But also a lot of women, a lot of people choose off of good sex. Like I know my baby daddy in particular, he gets chosen a lot by females after he fucks them, and then it's like they digmatized, not realizing that this nigga got some issues. He
Well,
might not beat you up or nothing, but this nigga a little bit crazy, just a sad bit. And it's a lot of people that get into these things because you have some good sex, the motherfucker be cool. Sometimes it just be that simple, like, well, shit, they cool, we got good sex. There could be a no, that is not. It's so much deeper.
I feel sorry for anybody. I feel sorry for any individual on this planet who is with somebody and they are allowing this individual to mistreat them because they have good sex. Like, you are the most short-sighted. Like that's almost
they like them a little bit, Kev. I mean, they
almost,
like them too.
Yeah, but I mean,
but it's also real, some good dick in there or good vagina.
That's fine. One thing I've always stated is there's never been a situation like I fell in love with my wife because of her personality and who she was and how she was. It wasn't like it wouldn't have been no situation where somebody had was shitty in every other realm, and I'd be like, man, look, I don't feel like shit, but goodness gracious, that's not enough. Like, I would have had like my family, my people around me would have been like, dude, what's wrong with you? And if I had said it like that, like, man, you just don't understand. They'd be like, you sitting up here with a black eye and shit talking about, but it's good though.
But some people, they get wrapped up in that the good times. You know what I'm saying? When they, like I said, the person be cool. They get along with the person, but then the person got this flip side. So it's like they got this good side. Well, when he ain't tripping,
Yeah, but you don't have one time to show it to me. That's why I say, if you get molested when you a little kid and you're defenseless, you get molested by somebody and you go and tell on them and they get caught, you were a victim. If you 16 and you get molested continuously over 2-3 years, it's a relationship. And you usually go tell when y'all break up. So I don't mean to demean anybody who's getting, assaulted or molested, but I'm saying at some point awareness has to kick in, right? Like, so I'm talking about the very first time, like I said, we in Walmart, ain't no big thing. We kicking it, bow, ooh, down goes crazy. That is the last time. I absolutely promise you that's the last time, because it don't matter what they say after that or what they do. I'd be like, I am cool on you. I'm good.
Right.
There's nothing that they could say that will make me forget how it felt to be down in the lingerie section. Like, I mean,
I be seeing that. I've been seeing that a lot, Kevin. The way I've seen people get treated, you don't be knowing how you just don't understand how people stay with that shit. She be like, shit, couldn't be me, but somehow it be them.
The unfortunate reality is with a lot of people, well, just in what they say in general, people always deem familiarity as safer than the unknown. Even if that familiarity is bullshit, they feel like this is the bullshit I know. The devil you know is safer than the devil you don't. So a lot of people stuck with people. I mean, let's just be real, man. If people is in a relationship today, the average relationship doesn't have a healthy foundation. The average relationship was a situationship where two people just fucking each other, and now life is in the play, and now they got to try to turn some bullshit into some real shit because now a child is about to be born. Or you got a need-situationship where somebody fucking needed a place to stay or a car to drive, and they fucking somebody for that shit, or somebody just need to be distracted from themselves. There's a lot of people with somebody simply because they enjoy being distracted from themselves. And I never understood the whole sex. They say statistically speaking, the average person only has sex for 3% of their life. So I'm not about to deal with 97% of bullshit for the 3% that this person is actually compatible with.
Right back to prioritizing the wrong shit.
Right.
Let me see. Having all my teeth in my mouth, having good sex. I'm gonna go with that sex, Chuck, for 10. Like, right. Once again, we are prioritizing shit.
Well, it show you that he is. I mean, motherfuckers getting BBLs and all kind, getting cut on and injected to be sexy. You know what I'm saying? I got a friend who almost lost her life. She was supposed to get a tummy tuck and a BBL. shit, they hit a major artery during the tummy tuck. They couldn't even get to the BBL because they had to stop her from dying. So
what tripped me out is people are. I'm going to Mexico and get my shit done. I'm going
the Dominican Republic and shit.
really? Like, that's the last place I'm going for surgery. Like, we can't do the surgery in Milwaukee. We got to send you to Mexico. I'm like, motherfucker, then we got Illinois between us. It's Ohio.
You know, it's a couple G's cheaper over there, Kev. That's the whole point. This is like half price.
I think there's a reason why you save some money. Usually cheap don't always mean good, right? So you went up in some dirty cantina and got your shit split open and they put some potato chips in your shit. Now you went out.
Damn.
You got ruffles in your ass cheeks. You know,
right.
Listen.
Rubber cement and shit.
Right, I get what you're saying about the obsession, and people do in America. We are a very like kind of really hypersexual society, so it does, and maybe that is what also makes people say, "Well, you know what? I'm satisfied on this level, and I just want to be satisfied somewhere because everything else is fucked up." But when I think a lot, what I would tell people is you have to put yourself and your personal health above everything else, right? So if you got a motherfucker that's really got you stressed, that's really pressing you hard, you got to realize that shit quick. He got to look at you and say, oh, you a smart ass, huh? You got to hit him with some statistics. Like, did you know 55% of all black men who got this? I think you may suffer from this complex. And if he say, oh, that shit out of you, smart ass, it's time to move. It's time to go. Like, don't even pass, don't even stop. Go past go. Right? Call your mom like, mama, I know I told you kiss my ass when I left. Heels and toes on me. I got to get up out of here. That's what I'm saying, man.
Some people say it's okay depending on your family. Look, somebody slapped me one time. I got slapped one time. And I remember I told my granny about it, and she was like, well, baby, you know, sometimes. And it was like, Nana.
Is she from the Color Purple days? Bullshit. I mean, she might be from the Color Purple days where
look,
the black
so it's
dude...
like some people got the family members, Kev, that's gonna tell you getting slapped around is a part of love. It's a part of a relationship.
That's the wrong motherfucker to talk to.
So it's like, and depending on the person, see me, I knew that was get the fuck out of here, Nana. Some people listening to their granny like, well, my granny said.
Well, he still pay the bills, and he's still a good man. He's still a good father. You know, he got to deal with them white folks all day. He don't want to come home to a dirty house after dealing with them white folks all day.
Right. Yeah. I would never tell nobody. I would never want to say this to somebody, but if they told me their grandmother said it, I'd be like, man, fuck your grandmother. Sorry.
You don't get the fuck on with that bullshit.
Hey, your grandmama needs to shut the fuck up. Like, you don't say that to nobody. Like,
who not to, man. That's the
can
thing.
you imagine? I'd be sitting there like, you be
different cultures.
Like, damn, grandma, I didn't know you was that dumb. I'm gone. I'm finna leave. Can I wrap this plate up? God damn.
See, but then I found out my granny used to always get beat up because she was always cheating on niggas and shit.
Different perspectives for different times,
she
man.
Because she always fucking off. Well, baby, you know, sometimes. So look, you know.
I quit. This is why I just stay out the streets and live my life. I don't want nothing to do,
man. Dysfunction go deep, man. It go back years. Like we be thinking, motherfucker. Like I'm 39 now, man. I got motherfuckers in my age bracket that are grannies and pawpaws, and they still talking about they sneaky link and shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that shit, that grandparents got sneaky links, and they gonna be trying to tell their grandchild one day how to conduct themselves as a human being.
That's why I said, man,
we all fucked up.
Grandmama dumb. Damn, you got a dumbass granny. Tiasha Arthur said, how's that guy claiming the Juicy song? It was a Tume song. And if not mistaken, Puffy got permission to use the song from the first producer he was under before he got his own business. Have you ever heard this back in the day also? I never heard that song by the Notorious Big One back in the days. I did not hear that song. And it makes a lot of sense why I never heard it. Because honestly, even at that time, I listened to a lot of underground Southern rap. Like I was on my UGK, Ghetto Boy, Suave House, Organized Noise, all that. I was on all of that back then. So I would have heard this shit. So I'm sure once Puffy decided to steal a song, he made sure. Now, it wasn't that this dude ain't claiming the song Juicy by Mtume. He's claiming the rap song that was made from the sample from the song. He's saying I used that sample first, and maybe he didn't legally clear it. I don't know. He released this album on a record label, so they would have got sued as like a motherfucker anyways. But he's not saying Juicy that Mtume wrote is his. He's saying the structure of the song, the way it's rapped, and the beat is entirely almost exactly the same. Right. So yeah, I do understand Puffy did probably pay for the sample, right? We probably looked at it and said, he don't own this shit yet. I'm gonna call Mtume personally, because I'm pretty sure Puffy was connected like that. And Dude said, oh shit. Yeah. He might, if he was still alive, you might want to ask him, did you ever clear that sample? He probably said, yeah, I did. I didn't know Puffy then was gonna come along a year later and clear it again. So I don't know. But I don't think he's claiming the song itself. It's just the way they did it. You can't listen at that song and say, damn, dog, this shit sounds too much alike. It's impossible. If you just listen to it and you say, no, he's not Biggie. He's not Biggie, but the subject matter. I'm a big dude. I'm a gangster from the street. I like to party, have fun, get the girls, get the money. It's too much. It's too, what they say is too near you not to hear you. She said, my dad would have effed a dude up for hitting one of his daughters. You know, we used to say that. We used to say that all the time. But you don't go right now, even as the daddy, you can't just really rerun. What's that? Nigga, you hit my door. They be like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna hit your ass too. They get on your ass. I mean, so he really got to come with his, now he got to come like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, what you really want to do as a father is try to talk to your daughter about who she's dealing with, what kind of men she associates herself with. And even if she makes the mistake of getting in a relationship with one of these dudes, you really want to be able to sit her down and say, listen to me. You can come back here. You can live right here. You can do whatever. I will support you to the fullest. Because as long as you over here, he ain't going to fuck with you. Because if he come over here, I'm laying his ass down. But if you're going to keep fucking with him, you keep dealing with, he my baby daddy. And I don't give a shit. He's beating the shit out of you. You're not going to survive this situation. I would rather have that conversation with my daughter and try to say, I wish a nigga would hit one of my daughters. Because just when you say that, here come wish a nigga would. And be done slap the shit out.
Right.
God damn, dog. Just because they named you that don't mean you had to do it. Just, y'all missed the whole point of that joke, right? Like, I think Courtney
I got the joke here.
Like,
I got it.
What he said.
It was all right.
Rail was kind of like,
it was good. It was all right.
Rail was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Getting late, getting late.
I'm thinking about the nigga the nigga getting his ass whooped by some. It gotta be fucked up to get your ass whooped by your daughter's boyfriend. Cause what the fuck? Like, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, shit, damn, that'd be fucked. Cause what can you say? Like, well, baby, shit, goddamn it, stop fucking with these goons. Like, you know, you can't. What can you say?
It's like when girlfriends be beating up moms. Like, what's the dude name? The blue face dude, and his little girlfriend is all over the. Every time I log on, I damn near see her in little reels and shit. Yeah.
Okay.
She done beat up his sister and his mom.
Okay.
God damn.
I've seen some flashes of that. I did. That shit I usually skip past though.
Yeah, that shit wild now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can't even
like,
imagine if my
how do you come back from some shit like that? Right? How do you come back? How do you come back from some shit like that? And that's what I was thinking about. You know, my imagination playing this scenario like them at the Thanksgiving dinner, and this nigga got his ass whooped by his daughter's son. You know, his daughter's boyfriend. You know,
yeah, you got your ass whooped at the family reunion.
I lost a friend
everywhere.
Lost a friend and a coworker to a dude who he was going to, you know, see the boyfriend about hopping on his sister, and the boyfriend ran him over with a car. He hit him with the car. He was in a coma for a few days and eventually died. I used to work with the cat at Target, so like even then it's like, man, you got to be mindful of what you step into, because sometimes you might lose your life or your freedom going to see somebody about somebody that your family had no business fucking with.
That's what I'm saying. Now you done got everybody fucked up. It's just like the cat who you from the neighborhood and you know, right? And you got a lot of reputable cats behind you. You got a lot of family members that you know would get down for you.
Mm-hmm.
They love you like that. And you stay in some shit having to come back and get somebody. Now, when somebody get killed or kill somebody and go to prison over no bullshit, it's your fault. Right. And so like, that's why I always used to be like, look, I wouldn't usually if I got into it with somebody, it was somebody who knew my family who was like, oh, I'm gonna go tell them Kev over here fighting or whatever, and then they come and do what they do. But I would always be like, let me handle it because I know you motherfuckers will go to prison. Like I can just take it to the edge and back up a little bit and say, I'm going home. No, you got to do too much. I'm about to air this nigga out. Damn.
Right.
I wish he had the cane. You know,
Right.
What you gonna do? So I got cousins right now, even in my old age. Even in my old age, I got some cousins right now. If I got in a trauma, I would not call them. And some of them older than me. Because you know why? Because I already know they don't give a fuck about going to the pen. They gonna come and be like, man, look. Now I got some who would tell you, cause I hear you, man, but shit, man, I'm good, bro. You gonna have to work that out. I ain't going back to that motherfucking penitentiary. But I got some who would be like, where you at? Cause I'm on my way.
Right, where you at? I got the sock and the pistol.
Man, and we'll pull up with them shit like
they come with the sock on their arm and everything.
You ain't gonna put that under the seat or nothing. You just gonna carry it? He said, where they at? Where let's just drive by their house. I'm gonna start shooting. No, you know what? Let's go to the crib first and place the mat.
Right.
I'm gonna try to get this nigga high so he can get
right.
That's it for you. I done bought this nigga a whole pint of Hennessy.
Got to.
And on the real, because I had a cousin one time, and you know, we had gotten in a situation where my brother had actually gotten in a situation, and there was some drama, and so he knew that we had family who lived in this particular area right in the vicinity. So he hit the corner, boom. See my cousin, jump in, man. I just da. And my cousin like, yeah, okay, hold on, let me run the house, get my shit. So my brother's like, first of all, as soon as he said that, I'm like, well, that wasn't really what I had in mind. I'm mad. I just got into it with these niggas. I ain't tripping. He said he came back out. He said, man, you know, my other cousin jumped in the truck. Let's go, cuz. Turn around the corner. So he like, now I'm seeing them on the corner from down the street. And he like this. Just pull up on side of them. I'm just gonna air them all out. So he said, I'm sitting there forever on Burlock going, I don't know what that's I'm gonna go that way. He said, my cousin sitting there like, well, where they at? Come on, man, just drive by. Even if that ain't them, cuz I'm finna let's just drive. My brother said,
even if it ain't them,
right.
My brother said he's like, man, I ended up way on the goddamn west side. I was halfway down Capitol. Like, I thought I seen the car.
See, that's why you gotta be
that serious.
You gotta be careful with who you involve in your shit, man. Like man. I had friends who
to the lake and parked. Like, oh man.
right. Because some people enjoy like it's fucked up as hell that you will see family come together on bullshit quicker than you will see them come together on positive shit. You know, like sometimes, like even with kids, sometimes a parent ain't even a fucking parent until there's some drama to get into. Kid been fucking up in school, all kind of shit, but as soon as the teacher say something to him, the whole family pulling up. Couldn't show up for the PTA shit or the conference, but they coming to fight some motherfuckers.
Low key. I can admit this now because I'm a long way away from being an MPS teacher. Some of the most fun I used to have, like one of the most enjoyable things that I used to do is, as I was a self-contained special education teacher, which means I had the little room. So I had all of the worst of the worst. And I don't play around. That shit is, for me, this real simple. I'm a grown-up and you're not. Or you can't be in here. That's it. It ain't no middle ground. There ain't no negotiation there. My mom said, your mama don't work here. Your brother, he don't work here either. So I used to love when parents would come and they would come storming in the door. You, Mr. Barnes? Yeah, I came to holler at you. And then a lot of times I would stand up and they'd be like, God damn, this is a big motherfucker. Like, well, I just want to see how you was doing. How you doing, brother? You okay? I'd be like, yeah, okay. How can I help you today? Like, God damn. So I used to love that part of it. But I did used to have a lot of conversations, like you said, with parents who was, but I would always break them down by like, that's not how we gonna start this conversation, right? If you want to talk to me, we can talk. I don't do all of that. What you trying to do? I don't get involved in that. I'm his teacher. I can pull out my grade book. I can pull out the copies of the suspensions and the, you know, the me sending to the office. I can show you on my phone all the times I've called you and tried to get in contact with you and let you know about his behavior. You want to talk about any of that? And I said, but you shared the other day to him. Well, okay, so now let's talk about that. What I said. I didn't call him dumb as fuck. I said, fuck, you're dumb. There's a difference. Like, I'm gonna tell you what I said. I didn't really say it. I beat the brakes off you and your girl up in this classroom. Y'all fucking with me. I'm already been here for 2 hours extra because the parent teacher conference. I'm ready to go home and shit. Come on, man, don't get fucked up. But parents did used to, and thank God nobody did come in with a strap or something and say, because I ran a CLC down on Locust at Clark Sherman Multicultural Art School. Well, first of all, it wasn't multicultural and we didn't even have art, so it was just a fucked up school, right? CLC, after school, and I used to have them ghetto ass parents, man. They used to straight up try me in there, like they come in there like, motherfucker, let me. I'd be like, hold up, wait a motherfucking minute. Oh damn, Mr. Barnes, my boss was there one time. He was like, man, you totally. I didn't even know you had that side to you. Because I'm trying to tell them, like, hey, listen, and I'm trying to tell them, my boss, motherfucker. I was like, hey, man, check this motherfucking shit out. You got me fucked up. And then my boss kind of turned around like, oh my God. He was just thrown by it. Like, Kevin, I never would have thought. Yeah, well, don't cross the line, motherfucker. Gun line, boss. I be talking shit on here. That never happened. None of that ever happened. Right. Before we go, I do want to say this because I feel like we're all
sucked into the story. Like, damn, Kev.
Right.
No, I'm trying to protect the guilty. It never happened. That never happened.
Right.
When I said, like, you telling all your shit on here, like, you gonna be done told on yourself. Right? Somebody I might be trying to get a job, they might be watching this shit like, oh, you slapped the shit out of him, huh? The interview. And so you're a quote unquote slapper, huh? That's what you said on your podcast. But I do want to get this. I gotta say this because the trailer for the Black Panther came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little upset. I got a bone to pick with this whole thing.
Why?
Number one, please don't make the Black Panther a woman. It is the Black Panther, not the Black Pantheress. Okay, I understand Black women feel important. And we can do whatever he can do. No. Listen, you don't understand that the Black Panther, the character itself, is not real, right? It's not a real person. It's a comic book. Now, I, like everybody else, thought Chadwick Boseman done an excellent job. I think he was an excellent actor. Loved damn near all of his movies. Very sad, very tragic what happened to him. But he died, right? So they're treating this apparently like he was really the Black Panther and he died. Just put another nigga in the suit. Like now we got to deal with it being a woman. Listen, I'm not going to the movie if it's a female Black Panther. There, I said I don't like it. And I'm also tired of white people producing movies. And I understand Ryan Coogler, the director, is Black. There's a lot of Black people involved. Shout out to all of y'all. But I don't like this kind of colonized perspective of bed wenches and peace treaties, right? Like even in the Black Panther, what the whole story was for years that this country in Africa had been thriving, and the way that they became so powerful is to stay separate from the world. Mm-hmm. They felt the need to come now and work with the world. So in the end, at the end, you don't really, now you're going to deal with white people, right? Like now you say, no, we got to go share with everybody. The beef, actually, if you watch the movie between Killmonger's dad and T'Challa's dad, it's a group of Black people over here in America who've been suffering like a motherfucker for 400 years at the hand of these white people. Mm-hmm. Right? Why have we not ever come over here and saved them or helped them? We got resources in our country that could change their world.
The niggas be fucking shit up. No. We gonna stay over here, nigga. We gonna help them. No. No. That's why.
I do not want you to bring
they gotta add that westernized twist to everything. You know what I'm saying? It always gotta have that underlying message. Yeah, because the white dude had to come in and they gave the white CIA agent dude the key to the king. He was in the ship and shit, flying the ship.
What the fuck? Like, it's little Black dudes walking around the country who've been trying to get that job for years.
Right.
They don't even get an interview and shit. Like, she right. Shit. That's what I'm saying. And Real, you said you ain't into the whole pop culture thing, like music and stuff like that. But people took the making of the movie, the Black Panther, so serious, and the concept of Wakanda, this powerful African nation, and Black people are sovereign there, and they got solidarity and all this kind of thing. And so now this movie's coming out. I just don't, because they show somebody with the suit on, tease it at the end. It's a girl. It's a girl, right? And I just think the hero himself loses credibility if it's a girl. That's how I feel about it. So.
But you know what? Kanye, Kanye for president, as usual. He always says some very profound shit. And like he said, they have created now this Black Panther character. And now when you look up Black Panther, don't nothing about the original Black Panthers come up. I mean, when you look, but like right now I type in Black Panther and it's just the comic book.
The superhero.
It ain't no real shit.
Well, I can tell you why that is. That's because the movie is about to come out, and right now they're putting their money into what do you call it? SEO?
No, it ain't even that. Because if you just type in Black Panther, it ain't really showing shit about the new movie is just the Black Panther. Like for you to see original Black Panthers.
Watch over the next year until that movie comes out. Anything mentioned about Black Panther internet wise, either the old movie, the new movie, or one of this, something's gonna pop up. They got the SEO, what they call it, the search engine optimization.
Search engine optimization. Yep.
You can pay for that, so
they
that
pay people good money to figure that shit out too. Keywords, all that shit.
Yes, and that's another way to promote. Like if I had enough bread, I could pay Facebook, and they would say, "Oh, thank you." When somebody say any Outlaw, any radio, any of that, our shit gonna be an option. It'll pop up. But yeah, go ahead, Ray.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I seen the trailer and I just seen Angela Bassett crying like usual and shit. But she's like, I lost my whole family.
I don't want you. I don't need you. I don't need you.
So it's like, but honestly, when you think about Western cinema and what they allow, it being a woman will be right up their alley because a powerful Black superhero man with dignity and pride and strength and shit like that will be too dangerous of a character to and I ain't trying to get into I don't think it was a conspiracy and that he passed, but
no.
But
we don't know.
I think but I think the Black Panther character, when they seen little boys crying and doing the little Wakanda Forever shit, I think a part of them said, "Oh shit, I don't know. Well, we were trying to get their money, but we wasn't trying to wake them up." You know what I'm saying? So it's right up that alley of the strong Black man dying, and now we got a female. They don't mind the Black woman in power because then they feel like she's a bit more controllable. But that's what the Western media do. I mean, if you notice, The Last Samurai was a white man. Like all their cinematography is, we're just as good as you. Like every movie is, the Karate Kid going to Okinawa and doing karate better than them.
Italian dude from New Jersey.
Type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's all their movies always. I mean, let's look at Breaking. Kelly from the Burbs. Now she pop locking with Turbo and
in South Central, right?
Right.
I'm saying, what if the white dude end up being Black Panther? Niggas ain't gonna be ready for that. They done gave him the key and shit. In the movie, it's him in the suit.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I mean, thank God for the movie coming out with Viola Davis. I think
even in that, from what I seen,
Early
Returns there's a love scene with a white man.
They gotta find a way to say, hey, we're just as good, if not better. I
ain't paying the $5.
Right.
You had to sneak that. Here's this Amazon, this African warrior princess who's fought to defeat and kill and no African man can deal with her. But one of the colonializers can come in and they mysteriously fall in love. He's going to have court with her all of a sudden. Like, I came to really inform you. I fell in love with you. Like, it's not
a conversation. It was just like that,
If they're basing it off the...
do that voice again, Kev. I like that one.
Which one?
That's what Sucker said when he talking that English voice. Do it again.
Right.
She says, see, black women, they like that. So what you say?
Right. So what you say, white man?
Right. I'm just trying to warn you. I want you to know, Nandi.
You give me Harry Potter vibes a little bit.
He's from Europe, girl. He's from Europe.
Right.
My baby's going to be European and everything. Right. Joey said he felt you on that. He said white always want to put the Black man behind the woman. White people is that
it make them more comfortable. It makes them uncomfortable to real shit. it makes white people, or at least that system, it makes them uncomfortable to see a strong, black, healthy man in his right mind. You know that's just a black man being healthy and in his right mind is deemed as a threat.
Or you're labeled a smartass, which was the
Right.
name of the show tonight.
There you
T'Challa was
go.
ultimately a smartass because if you try to tell him something, he'd be like, "No, you have that wrong. I have a laboratory that says they such smartass nigger."
Right.
They are coming with the movie Till after this, I guess, which is, I guess, the story of Emmett Till, which I personally, once again, here's these movies that you make, and I feel like we don't necessarily need to see this.
No.
We don't. We know it.
Right.
We don't need a movie for it.
And so I know black actors say, no, it's gonna give me a chance to like win an Oscar or winner. Like,
didn't they just have a show or some shit that was about Emmett Till, like a show or a documentary or something?
There's been several documentaries, yeah.
That's enough. They need to make another movie, a different movie.
I think it was something like last year though that everybody was watching about Emmett Till. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, that along with the new revelation of them finding a warrant for the lady Carolyn. It is a documentary.
It was, yeah, something on Netflix.
But this is in light of the new information when people really see how truly botched that shit was, and how really like the lack of justice in that shit is just stupid goofy, right? Like, and they saying they found a arrest warrant for the lady Carolyn in the basement of the police station from the 50s. Because she was supposed to be arrested for her involvement in this. So I guess people say, well, Kev, this awareness. But I would say, I don't think you need to watch the Hollywood version of that if you really want to. And it's got to go really read them old ass books with them yellow pages in the library. Like, you got to really get into that. Watch Eyes on the Prize, because they used to make us watch that shit in NPS when I was coming up.
I was gonna say, you're just gonna make us mad, Kev. Just like Rosewood.
Slap the shit out of a white boy at lunch. What
you gonna do?
But they always got to show us again, Western media. They got to show us subjective, or subject to slavery and brutality and stuff, because they know we'll get mad, but we ain't gonna do shit. But they don't show, like, I would love to see a movie about the Haitian Revolution. Show some shit that we can actually absorb and might inspire us to make some changes. The Haitian, they had Birth of a Nation, but even with that story, that was one of the, I mean, kudos to the attempt, but it wasn't successful. Show us the successful shit, like
I couldn't even watch that whole movie. I couldn't even watch that whole movie.
Yeah, I ain't watching, man.
I got about a quarter way through, and I said, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like, I'm like, nah, I don't want to. I know enough about Nat Turner. I've read enough about Nat Turner.
Right.
And what really happened. I didn't really need to see it romanticized on the screen.
Right.
Like, I don't need to see them take cinematic license with who Emmett Till's family was, or his mama was, or some chick is gonna get her. I played Emmett Till's mama. You didn't even know her. She's been dead for years.
Right.
Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, and people say, Kev, you just fucking mad about everything. That might be partially true too. So if you just want to
have you been getting your hugs in, Kev?
I have not. Nobody wants. Right. People don't like me. Like, people,
you need to hug your wife 20 plus seconds.
She don't like me either. My kids tolerate me. They don't like me either.
You need to go there and just hug her. Just bear hug her. Hold it.
Fuck up off of me. Ugh. She don't like that shit
Hold
either.
it tight.
Right. She don't like that shit either. She's like, I don't know all that soft shit. No, I'm joking. Like, don't come here with that bullshit. No. Real. I know Kamar said he got the week of all weeks. Kamar's out here doing his thing with his business, and I applaud that. So shout out to him. And we're gonna put this date together. Like I said before, if you really want to do business with us, and you say, I got a business, I'm doing a pop-up, I have an event, let us know in advance, because I'm getting to the point now where I'm able to kind of do that. But it takes more than people understand to do this. It ain't just simple. Just turn your phone on, go live. Shit don't work like that. You got to hook shit up and put shit, and shit got to be over here, and you got to have this and that. And you can't try. We tried to do the Sherman Phoenix about 4 years ago, and I didn't have the right microphones. I didn't have dynamic microphones. I had condenser mics, and I had a mixer. And I knew I didn't necessarily have the right equipment, but the show was doing well. So Kamar, my other co-host, well, Jason actually didn't want to go. Kamar wanted to do it. We ended up doing the show. The shit was horrible. Like I couldn't. I listened back. I said, I can't even hear this shit. This is stupid. I think I erased it and like deleted it from my. So you'll never find it. Like I'm gonna go find that shit. No, you won't. I got rid of that shit. But so you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready. You gotta. And I would want to, if I'm going to your business, I would want to present a good picture. Like I would want to be classy, so people can say, you know what, that's cool. I'm gonna rock with them. So just let us know though, man. The phone number's active all the time. And I got a chat room now. Real, not a chat room. I have a Facebook Messenger where you send me a message and reach out to me. There's no way you cannot get in touch with me if you want to do business with the show. Real, what you got going on this weekend?
Just re-upped on another case of books for my book 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope, as well as my gratitude journal, my higher frequency multi-dimensional mindset gratitude journal. So if anybody need one, they can hit me up on Facebook, RELLY space JAI. And then, like I said, I've been going hard on this creating this TikTok content, higher frequency, HIGHERFREAKUENCY. Just did a video today breaking down spirituality and the etymology of it. And it basically, spirit just means breath. So if you breathing, you spiritual. So, that's what it means in a nutshell. But of course, we like to murky shit up with our dogma and traditions and shit like that. So, my thing is, whether you Christian or esoteric, I want everybody to be empowered. And if I have to show you the scriptures in the Bible for you to accept these esoteric views, I'm more than happy to show you them in the Bible. My goal is to empower you. I don't give a fuck who you believe is empowering you. My goal is just to make it practical for you.
That's what's up. Grab these books from this brother. Courtney, what you got popping?
I have no events coming up anytime. I haven't signed up for anything. I only had that Maker's Market. My products will be in a store coming soon. The store will be ready in November. So my products will be in there. I'm excited. So it's gonna be in Walker's Point. Oh, niggas is coming up. You see me? It's gonna be juices, lemonade, shea butters, all that. All my stuff, you're gonna be able to get it in the store. I might even have some services, hold some type of classes. And I'm thinking that might be the spot where I have some of my podcasts. Somebody pulled up on the side of me in traffic and was like, "Hey, why you ain't podcasting? You should have a song." And I'm like, all right. But I'll work on getting back to it. So I'm going to work towards getting back to podcasting. But I have decided, everybody, y'all ready? Okay, like y'all ready. I've decided to go ahead and finish my psychology degree. And then after we get the psychology degree, we're going to go ahead and try and get a master's. Do we want it in like science or sociology? We're going to go ahead with the Alkies Wellness. We're going to go ahead and be that therapist, that psychologist, that's inside of us. We're just going to go ahead and finish school because we just started degree years ago in our 20s. Now we're in our 30s. So
that's fly.
We're just going to go do that shit.
That's what's up. Man, people tell me all the time about debt. And listen, I owe a bunch of money. I do. But one thing about it, even if I never pay it, they can't take my fucking degree from me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, I don't, or I should say plural degrees, right?
Degrees with the S.
I believe, and some people say that shit don't mean nothing, and then you're entitled to your opinion. It varies, but I know for me to do that, to come from where I came from and change it into that direction is something that I cherish for myself personally. And even
fly as hell.
A lot of times people don't understand that getting a degree is really about sticking to something. It's about setting a goal, saying, no, I can do this shit, dog. I'm gonna sit my ass down. I'm gonna exercise this discipline. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And it, truth be told, can put you in some rooms you may not have had access to before. Now, once again, I do tell people, see, you get a degree, but you have to work the degree. It's not magic. You don't come home and say, hey, y'all, I got a degree, and everybody be like, you hide, nigga. No, not how it works at all. You gotta figure out how to maneuver and put yourself in position so that your education works for you, right? Like, so even if you go get certified as a plumber, it don't matter if don't nobody like you just tell people I'm certified as a plumber. Say, really? I didn't know, motherfucker. Because you just sitting here thinking people they're not gonna seek you out. You got to go find them, right? So it's that kind of thing. There was a story that I meant to talk about tonight with a Cincinnati police officer who was I guess she was approaching some sort of event and black people, the customers were black and they was parking crazy, and she's heard on her radio or whatever in her car as she flashed her light and some black people stuck their middle finger up at her, she said, fucking niggers. I hate these motherfucking niggers. Right? So then they got at her and she said that it was because she heard rap music, right? All right. I didn't talk about it because we have been discussing on this show about giving power away. We've been talking about that a lot. How much of your power has been taken versus how much you've actually given away, right? And I'm no longer going to give racist people any of my power. I'm not going to give it away to them. They got to come and take it, right? I'm not moved because I'm not finna fall out because a cop said nigger.
Right.
I'm not shocked because a white person said nigger. Oh my goodness. Oh, what are we gonna do? This white lady called me a nigger. A white lady who's a police officer who deals with all kinds of niggerish shit all day long in the first motherfucking place. So I'm sure by the end of her shift, she is like, I hate these. If I see another one of these motherfuckers, I'm sick of this shit. My nigga meter is over. Nigga meter. Crazy, right? So I'm not saying that she's right for saying it. I'm not saying she's a good person. I'm saying fuck her anyway. She can kiss my ass. She's not worth shit. Like, you shouldn't be like losing your mind because of. She should get fired. Another example, the Green Bay police have announced that they're giving a probe. They're doing a probe on this fake ass cop who grabbed AJ Dillon the other night at the stadium and pushed him a couple times. AJ's being really nice about it. That was a miscommunication. The rest of us are saying, man, that's some bullshit right there. That's some bullshit. If you haven't seen it, it's in the People's News Network. He's obviously a Packer. The people are asking him, come on, jump in the crowd, do the Lambeau leap. Here's Whitey McWhitey, hormone. And he got to add some extra shit to it because it's a black dude. So he don't just like, what you doing? He got to grab him and snatch him and push him. You just pushed a multi-million-dollar Negro, right? Like, so you should be fired for being a dumbass. And that's what it should say on your termination slip. You have been fired for being a dumbass. Yes. We extend from that to the last story that I have of the evening, which is this cracker, this Peckerwood, this honky, if you will. As my mama used to call him, this Rosin Smacker. Her name is Stephanie Capkin. A couple years back, there was a protest for George Floyd in Shorewood. And this old white lady, I'm assuming she got a little money. She's a state lawyer. She's some sort of attorney. She parks her car in the street to prevent the demonstration from continuing because she didn't want that shit out there.
I remember that.
She then proceeds to get out the car, walks up to a young black teenager and spits on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
Her ass was arrested. Her ass has been charged. She was given a chance to take a plea deal. She states that she wants to take this to trial because if you watch the video, she says she's told her attorney millions of times, listen, I didn't spit on him. And the attorney saying, everybody's seen you. It's video. They seen you. She's saying, no, this kid was actually taller than me. So I spit down on the sidewalk. I didn't spit on him. I spit down. If you watch the video, you see I'm spitting down because he's taller than me. I made sure that I controlled my spit. All right. All this shit is when I tell people, this is why you don't get caught up crying wolf about racism in America, because when they're going to do some shit that's fucked up enough for us to give them some energy, right? To give them some attention and to speak out about some of the dumb shit that they do. Now, so she's going to go to trial for this, right? She fired her lawyer, everything, right? Here's the old white woman who intentionally, she had to know his cameras there. She didn't give a fuck. Who told her she had the right to block a street off with her car? Now, if they'd have kicked her ass and took her car, all of them would have been arrested and taken to jail. Right. She's supposed to get out and do the lowest thing that you can do to another human being that's not physical, which is to spit on someone. I'd rather you slap the shit out of me as opposed to spitting on me, right? I'd rather you kick me in my ass, which is really the most demeaning shit, especially for a grown man, than spit on me. For you to come up with some mucus in your mouth and spit it in my face shows me how you really feel about me, right? So the fact that she's even allowed to last this long without somebody saying, and the judge tried to advise her saying, like, you know, your lawyers are pretty experienced individuals. She said, well, I am too. But she's like an estate lawyer, like a real estate lawyer or something like that. First of all, she should have lost her license if she was black. And I hate to even be the person that does that, but we know. Had this been a black attorney, because Lena Taylor, they wanted to get rid of Lena Taylor because she called another black person a house nigga in the bank. Remember? They take her out of office. All this shit. This white lady parked her car in front of a group of kids and got out and spit on somebody. Right. This is why I say save your energy. Right. It's gonna be enough. And say we're gonna understand it better by and by. You as a black person cannot lose sight of who we are forced to deal with in this country. This is why I say reinvest in your knowledge. Go back and say, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been believing this for a long time. Is it true? A lot of the shit that people believe in is not even true. Like Willie Lynch. You know how many smart ass black scholarly Negroes have tried to tell me, see, it's just like what they did with Willie Lynch, right? And see what happened with Willie Lynch, it's false. It didn't happen. Is the ideology of what the book talks about? Is it real? Of course. Look it up. There's no actual proof that this individual, they got rid of it because it was slaves, but they kept all the rest of the slave logs and slave masters. They just got rid of this one. Stop it. Right. We used to have a little saying on here where we say it's public masturbation. You playing with yourself and everybody can see it. Right. And so I would say, I hope that they take her license and I hope she actually has to go to jail. Now, due to the fact that she's going to court in Shorewood and this kind of thing, I wouldn't be upset and be ready to burn none down if they let her off, because I understand the nature of who and what I'm dealing with in this country. Right. So we know this is why we don't trust the police, because we know deep inside at the end of their shift, they tired of your black ass. So you probably getting shot. We know that when we are making a point about something that's very, very important and serious to us, they can't stand it to the point where they want to spit in our face. But you the same motherfuckers that tried to climb the walls of the United States Capitol because you didn't agree with a decision made by voters. And that's patriotic. That's cool. You can look past that all day. It's the hypocrisy in our democracy. It's the bullshit that we live in, the shit that we got to deal with. You just got to be smart enough to recognize it. As a black person, it doesn't hold you down. You can't say, I can't do this because of. No, you just got to understand what you up against. Then you'll start figuring out ways to get around it. That's what has to happen, y'all. So that's something for us to think about as we move and groove through the community. I will say, once again, I'm sick and tired of youngsters trying to use Tupac's name just for clout. And I'm really tired of the fact that this man's murder has become an industry. People do YouTube views and feed their family about his murder, right? The fact that all over this world, people know who Tupac is, no matter what country, no matter where you go, they know who he is. That in itself should keep any motherfucker from saying, well, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. His impact is felt. Very important individual, especially in terms of us, in terms of black people and what we've gone through as a struggle in this country. You say, Kev, well, he wasn't political. But a lot of motherfuckers that vote right now are people who was turned on to what's going on in the system by something they heard him say, right? I believe his quote was, I might not change the world, but I guarantee you I sparked a mind that will. This is the kind of shit that T-Pain and Will.I.Am and Funk Master Flex and all these people who go and open their mouth and say something about the man need to reconsider. I know it's hard for you to accept. At the end of the day, he was just more profound than you were. He's a better rapper than you were. He's a better artist than you were. And in a lot of cases, he's a better black man than you are. So, and sometimes it's hard to admit. So to end the show tonight, I just wanted to just say one of my favorite Tupac quotes, right? And I think it's probably one that made you kind of understand where things was headed when you heard it. When he said, let the real live niggas hear the truth from me. What would you do if you was me? Right? That makes you think, damn, what would I have done in that position? If I had that much power, if I had that much influence, would I do the right thing or the wrong thing? Think about it. Swish it around in your mouth a little bit. Gargle it a little bit. Take me and process it. Do what you need to do with it. We will be back Monday with D-Rock, the comedian D-Rock, who has a special on Tubi right now. Go check the special out. Tell me what you think about it. Trying to get more comedians on. Trying to get more everything. Trying to get more of everybody on. Y'all better watch out. I'm gonna fuck around, be walking well in a minute. You ain't gonna be able to stop seeing Outlaw Radio everywhere you go, man. Thank y'all for pontificating with a brother tonight, man.
Sure.
About epistemology and etymology and all things of the such and the sort, man. Peace and love. Shout out to you, JoJo, my man, 50 grand. JoJo raised me, man. So much love, JoJo, for real. I need